What is up, everybody? My name is Hector Flores, host of the Insert Name FC podcast, a member of the BellyUpSports Media Network. You can find us on all things podcasting, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix from at Insert Name FC. We also have a video version of this podcast that is available on BellyUpSports YouTube channel, full video version, also available on GolzTV. We also have a YouTube channel, Insert Name FC, pretty straightforward, so you can get us there as well. Once again, follow us on all social media platforms at Insert Name FC on Instagram, X, Facebook. We'll be there. And also check out our YouTube channel once again. This episode, man, we are going. I don't know why I took off my glasses. In this episode, we're going to talk about Bundesliga. That's a new rule in Bundesliga that we didn't know about when we did the preview. We're going to talk about Manchester United and what happened this past week with them. UEFA stepping in on Barcelona's potential regular season match in Miami. And, of course, the U.S. men's national team roster has been announced. The friendlies are going to be played this weekend. So we're going to go ahead and look at the roster, share our thoughts on it. Is it bad? Is it good? We'll share our thoughts. Obviously, Edward is available this week, so he will be in this episode. We'll also have players of the week. Give you guys some games to look forward to this coming weekend. It is the international break. So there is that. And then we're going to do 3 up, 3 down La Liga kits with Kelcey Coin of High Low Sports and wrap this show up in a pretty little bow for ya. So with all that being said, pretty straightforward episode. So we'll go ahead and take a break and then go right into Bundesliga with Edward. Let me tell you guys about BellyUpSports. BellyUpSports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. BellyUpSports is the premier, not your average website. All right, guys. If you guys see the cartoon of Edward teaching Timo Werner how to score a hat trick, then you know Edward's here. So,
Yay, what's up, guys?
happy birthday, Edward, by the way. Also, happy birthday, Spencer, because also Spencer was born not that long ago, a couple years ago as well. Same age as Edward, too, by the way. So they're both 89 babies. So
That's awesome. I'm only older than him by a few days.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you're the old man of the group.
I'm the old geezer.
And obviously Edward's alive. You know, Edward was
Yeah, I
sick,
was sick, had a fever,
had a
uh,
birthday.
well, even then, like the birthday, yeah, I had my boys that weekend, so that was a fun one. We cut a little cake. Hector got a piece, slice, whatever you want to
I
call it.
also got a gift.
And yeah,
On
yeah,
my best friend's birthday, I received a gift.
But that was, to be fair, that was a very long awaited gift. And I always kept saying, okay, I'm gonna take it to his house. Okay, I'm gonna go drop it off. And I would be like, hey, are you home? I'm gonna go drop it off. And then I just either fall asleep or something else would come up, either with the kids, with my family, something. So it's like never got a chance. And then we were talking about The Office. And then that's when dude, I was like, your gift. And I just ran back inside. And then I came back out and I was like, here you go. And I was like, yes. I was like, I finally did it. I finally gave him his gift. Now I gotta go and get another one for this year.
So if you guys are watching the video version, I'm flashing the gift. I mean, obviously you guys saw me wear the beanie last episode, but yeah. So I also got a coffee mug, which
Yeah.
I just finished using. But yeah. So Edward's back for another episode. But yes, we do have some topics to discuss, Edward, and we'll kick things off with when we thought that there was no way you could top a dumb rule like La Liga's VAR check rule. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Apparently, you can make things even dumber. The Bundesliga has a new rule. I didn't know this. If I would have known this, I would have talked about this in the Bundesliga preview. But apparently, get ready for this rule, Edward, because it's called the handshake rule.
The handshake rule. Okay. Break it
So
down for me.
70 minutes before kickoff. I don't know why
Wait,
it has to be
what?
70 minutes
70
before.
minutes?
70 minutes before
Dude.
kickoff. So an hour and 10 minutes before we kick off the game, the coaches and captains must meet with the referees to have a dialogue on on how we must conduct during the match. Essentially, this is to help promote respect and reduce fights. I don't know in any way a dialogue has ever reduced a
Uh,
fight. And
you
also,
gotta have a silver tongue for that one. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to talk your way out of trouble in order to avoid a fight like that. And we've seen it before where tempers just flare up, and it's not. And I mean, think about it. If you think about it, they already do the handshake thing. They shake the hands of the refs. The teams walk by each other, handshake, hug, whatever, and wish each other luck and
yeah, because
whatever. But
there's a coin toss that the captains
yeah,
discuss with. You can't do it then, like,
and
um,
so I'm like, and that's the thing. I figured that's what they would do too. It's like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go ref this game as best as I can to my abilities. I have my colleagues with me, da 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 da, and then now here's the flip of the coin. Who's gonna get the ball first? What side of it? Whatever, So you would think that all of that happens in the two, maybe 1 minute of dialogue right then and there.
yeah. So also the other thing that is hoping to at least reduce is arguing with the referees. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna help. Deliberate fouls. If you guys know the time wasting fouls, the guys that purpose or to prevent a goal, all those things, and of course time wasting, which I feel like no one has found a solution to any of those issues because players still go argue to referees. I believe there's even a new rule. I don't know if it's all across football, but I know that there's certain leagues where they have rules in place that only the captain can speak to the referee. People still don't follow that rule. Honestly, the deliberate fouls, I think that's kind of a ridiculous one because there's certain fouls that you just have to commit. Like, am I going to let this guy score a goal on me, or should I just commit the foul, take the red card, knowing that at this point, all they can do is get a free kick? You know? So I think the deliberate fouls, there is some strategy into it, but I understand that, like, I don't know. You have to be, that's like very time specific and situation specific when it comes to the deliberate fouls. But time wasting is going to happen. Like, goalkeepers are going to get the ball. They're going to lay on the ground for a couple of seconds just to waste as much human time possible. Or, hey, I don't want to kick this ball. Let me go get the ball that's like 10 feet away from me. That's just, the time wasting has just been a massive thing in the sport. And honestly, there hasn't been a real solution. I would argue, Edward, if you
Mhm.
if you would hear me this out, for time wasting, just penalize the player. Like, I mean, not penalize the team. Take time away from the match. Like, instead of adding more time, because that's what their goal is doing, from like milking an injury or the thing I just mentioned with goalkeepers. Take time away. Like, instead of, oh, that's going to be another minute of stoppage time. No, okay, screw you. I'm taking that minute away of stoppage time. Now, as soon as it hits 90, I'm blowing the whistle. Just my
Mm,
thoughts.
I mean, I don't know. Because I mean, we have been having those
I mean, one of our biggest complaints so far is that the stoppage time amount has been
has been
ridiculous.
ridiculous. That's what I was about to say. I was like, we have been having those 10 minutes overtime. Remember the last game, 16 minutes, 17 minutes
Oh, that's just
overtime.
the beauty of Liga MX. But yes, I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Speaking of a league that's notorious for time wasting, so maybe they
It's
need
like,
to have a handshake dialogue rule.
again, they do. They walk by each other, shake hands, and do all of that. Like I said, I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, like
Actually, as a matter of
I'm.
fact, they do all the things that Bundesliga is hoping to prevent. They do argue with
Hmm.
the referees. They do deliberately foul, and they do
Hmm.
definitely waste a lot of time.
Hmm. And they waste a lot of time, mostly not even just fighting, but just fighting with the ref, talking to him, telling him, "Hey, what are you
Hmm.
doing?" Da, 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 da. That's the time waster right there.
But as far as, and I think the Bundesliga is a little bit of a different league. I don't think I've ever seen much like exaggerated stoppage times placed in them. And like, I literally just watched Bayer Lever because it was actually Malik Tillman scored his first goal, his debut goal for Bayer Leverkusen, which that was great for the USA. But so I watched that game, which was hilarious because they had a very strong lead, and then which Eric Ten Hag, by the way, is the manager for Bayer Leverkusen now. They essentially choked it, and they ended up drawing 3-3 to Werder Bremen, who was down to 10 men. So
Mm,
there's a consolation prize for
under,
you right
yeah, right.
there.
I was like, that was a that that the, you know that that expression. And I know my Central American people, they will understand it. Just what I did right now. Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
all,
yeah.
all, all that was missing was a.
No, hombre. That's that. There you go. Like
uh,
that. There you go.
no, yeah. So, and in that game, there was a deliberate foul there. So, yeah, clearly hasn't really done a really good job on that part. But and then there was also some time wasting that Leverkusen was trying to do to make sure that they didn't choke away a victory, which they eventually did choke away a victory. But yeah, so I think like it, even to some extent, Bundesliga I don't think is necessarily as egregious as certain other leagues. So I won't say that. I believe the player was also getting fouled because he moved the ball further away for a throw in for the opposing team. I don't know, but yeah. So clearly, I don't know if it will prevent much. I think at least the dialogue essentially is letting it know that the referees like this is their expectations, this is what they're hoping that the players are going to live up to, and I think that's perfectly fine in some aspect. But I just don't know if you're supposed to do it 70 minutes before kickoff. And a lot of the managers have actually spoke out against this. Lucas Kwasniak from Cologne, he actually called it utter nonsense. Tony Cruz, I don't know why he chimed in, but he also thought it was dumb. Frank Schmidt of Heidenheim also feels like it adds absolutely nothing, which I agree. And it
Right.
actually disrupts players' pre-match routines, which if anybody knows anything about professional athletes, there's guys that genuinely need to do their routine in order for them to get into their match, into the right headspace for a match, if that makes any sense. Like some people have to put on their left sock before they put the right sock on. Someone has to eat 2 bananas. Like, and you guys think I'm making this up. I've actually met people that literally this is what they live by. Once again, we're talking about 70 minutes, so I don't know. I don't know how many people need like more than an hour to do their whole pregame ritual, but yeah, and then we're just talking about it's one person, right? It's a coach and a captain that's going to talk. But I don't know. Maybe we still got a whole season ahead of us, man. We'll see what happens with the Bundesliga if this works. But apparently, like a lot of people just I think the word nonsense and waste of time is what it feels like as of right now. Though there is somebody that does love the rule, and that is Julian Schuster of Freiburg. So so he likes the rule. He thinks it's great to have a dialogue. It's just like is it at one point going to become redundant to have the same dialogue of hey, this is my expectations. Please don't time waste. Please don't do this. Like at one point, it's going to become like a routine. Like the script has been set in place, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it has. But of course, everybody gonna get their 2 cents in, and they're gonna see like you already know. And in soccer, or sorry, in football, you tend to let the passions run high, and you're going to let the emotion take over, their competitiveness, everything's gonna take over. You're not just gonna say like, yeah, sure, we're gonna keep it civil, blah blah blah. I'll talk to my players. Yeah, you're gonna talk to your players. Doesn't mean that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. I think at the end, especially when in match, when you have like emotions at an all time high, everyone's kind of in a high level of like intensity.
And
Like,
especially, let's put it this way. If the ref makes a bad call,
mm-hmm.
if the ref makes a bad call, let's say it's a dive
Or
in the
worse,
penalty box,
assistant referees
assist, yeah, the offside, when technically they're not really offside. They have the VAR, all
or
this other.
VAR is completely and utterly
Oh
wrong.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just so many things already that they're trying to, I guess you could say, um, regulate. Now they're trying to regulate, I guess you could say, the players and the way it like because for all we know, let me put it this way, for all we know, the refs could even say they're like, okay, I will take no showboating. You stepped on the ball with both feet trying to showboat, that's a yellow card. It's kind of stuff like that. Like at that point, you're impeding the creativity of the game. Like some players do, like they love to be, joga bonito. They're good at it. And if you're gonna tell them, oh, they're gonna do a little showboat move, little stuff, little flick here and there, a little wink, whatever, like just a little showboat, and you're gonna be telling them, hey, and I'm not saying this is all refs. I'm just saying and we've seen this happen a lot in the South American League, Brazilian League. That when they're showboating and stuff, all of a sudden the ref comes in and gives them a yellow card because he was like, "Oh, you did this move." And it's not even like a soccer move. It's just for no reason whatsoever. You get a
Oh
yellow
yeah,
card, and everybody
when
freaks out.
Memphis
Yeah,
Depay did the when he put both his feet on the
yeah,
ball. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that.
And then it's like what? Like you just kind of stated like, huh? Like what? Why is the play stopped and everything? And it's just like
I
why?
think at some
You
point it's
know?
kind of funny when you use the word professionalism when we're talking about a game. Um,
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like,
I understand the concept that yes, there is a level of professional when you're playing it professionally, but it just kind of is funny when you hear, at least to me, when you hear the word professional when you're talking about a game, a game that we all grew up playing, that we all pretended to be certain players, and all that stuff. But I think also the good thing about, I guess, at least this handshake dialogue rule that is implemented right now in the Bundesliga is that the referee can immediately set the tone of what this match is going to be. Like he can let them know, hey, I'm not going to let things slide. Or there might be a guy like, hey man, as long as you guys don't do anything too crazy, I won't try to impede too much on the game. I don't want to stop the game as much as I humanly can. Just don't cause any foolishness, right? Or there's gonna be guys like, hey man, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I see anything crazy, like maybe a rivalry match, right? Like for instance, a Der Klasse, right? If Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich play, and maybe you guys like, hey man, the first hard foul I see, I'm putting a card up there just so you guys know I'm not gonna be playing around this time around, So I think there's some benefit to this rule. I don't know why we need this rule. I mean, I guess someone felt the need of this rule being in place. So I mean, it's one of those things like rules that you're like, who in the right mind would think that they needed a rule to be told to not touch the furnace? Like, things like that. Like, don't touch the furnace. It's probably hot. Kind of thing. But then there's those people that maybe do need to be told that, hey, don't touch the furnace. So I think that maybe there's some benefit to this rule, but at the same time, it's just ridiculous. I guess like, whenever it's something new, because this is new, right? To
yeah,
hear this rule, you think is, to me, I think it's borderline stupid, but maybe to that one guy that is tempted by touching the furnace, maybe he needs to hear, hey, don't yell at the referee.
yeah. And it's like, for one, you already know, and I can tell you this from experience, you already know that that's not going to happen. There are going to be players who are going to get infuriated with the ref. We've seen this in Sunday League. We've seen this in indoor. We've seen this in futsal. We've seen this in professional soccer. No matter how many times you see, like you yourself, a player, see that another team, another league or whatever, he's saying something to the ref, even with his hands behind the back or whatever, all of a sudden he gets a yellow card. It might not be a cuss word. It might not be discrimination. It might not be talking down to the ref, but it's just him talking. The ref could just himself be frustrated and be like, you know what? I don't want to hear this shit. Yellow card. Just because you're talking, I'm trying to get this match going underway. So at that point, okay, you're basically trying to control the players, but what about the refs at that point? Like with the whole dialogue thing that they're trying to have beforehand, how can you be sure that the ref is not just going to go not out of his way, but more of like, how he's not going to react to a certain
hmm
word or a certain sentence? It doesn't have to be anything insulting his family or anything. It could just be the dude is having a bad day. The dude feels that, oh, this game is just too much for me. I'm getting frustrated. This is ridiculous. Oh my God, all these fouls. So then people start talking, people start yelling at each other, and you're just trying to de-escalate the situation. It's kind of like this is not really relatable, but it's kind of like a cop suspect situation. You're over there trying to interrogate the suspect. If the guy makes a sudden move, you already know there's some cops who are able to de-escalate the situation by talking, by hand movements. Maybe just trying to calm down the person. They manage to do that. Some of them just automatically put out taser, guns, whatever. Like they go ahead and use brute force. So it's kind of in the same scenario in that situation, is what I'm trying to say. Like the guy who's supposed to be in control of everything, of trying to make sure that everything's going according to the league rules, to make sure that there's no fouls, there's no like blatant fouls, there's to trying to make sure that the game is kept at a certain pace, at a certain disciplinary degree. It's like you have control of so much, and like I said, you may have had a rough morning, and then you're just, you're doing something, you're doing your job, but who knows if that ref is actually ready for that game. It could be a very high profile game, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, or it could be a very low profile game like no, like like Noburg. Even though that probably they're in second division, like FC Köln.
Hmm.
Like they're it just depends also on the person, just how it depends on the players, how it depends on the coaches. It also depends on the ref,
Hmm.
like how their interactions are going to be taken as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's honestly a good point. But I think for the rule itself, I'm gonna say it's unnecessary, but maybe it benefits some. I mean, clearly there's at least like a 5% that generally, I guess, that do in fact like this rule, while the rest just views this as a waste of time. But I mean, Edward, I mean, we're maybe percentage wise, how do you feel like how the usefulness of this rule is going to be?
I mean, like I said, I, I put in my 2 cents already. I already said I feel like it would be better done instead of and because we don't know. It's an hour and 10 minutes before the game is starting, and you're having this conversation with the coaches, whatever, linemen, everything. Just it could be a brief 5 minute conversation, 2 minute conversation, whatever. Or if they start bringing in, you know, player names, oh well, um, Harry Kane, what if he, does this and this and this? Or what if he's being too rough on my player just because he's a high profile name or whatever? Like, are you going to be keeping an eye on him? You saw what he did last game. You saw what this, and the other. Like, you're just basically going to be trying to make it to where you're going to get your way. It's kind of like a debate in a way. And I think it wouldn't be a smart thing. Like, dude, boxing's like, all right, touch gloves. I want a clean fight, whatever, stuff like that. Both people know the rules. Both teams and both parties know the rules. And that's basically for every soccer game. So I personally don't see why they should do that for that early on,
Hmm.
because I feel like it's better right then and there in the moment. Like you're about to start playing,
Hmm.
you're all riled up. I mean, like I said, you're all riled up. But if you're talking to the ref right then and there, they're the captains and everything. All right, guys, look, this is what's gonna go down. Da 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 da. Please relay this to your players. Let's get
Hmm.
ready. It's not like they don't talk to each other before the game's about to start, before they start setting up their formations. They get
Absolutely.
in a huddle. And then that's when the captain's like, okay, this is what the ref said. Da, 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 da. Let's get this going. Try to keep it clean. It doesn't take that
Yeah,
long.
like
There's
I
no
I
point.
agree that like doing it 70 minutes before kickoff, like they're literally right when you guys are about to do the coin toss, do the handshake with the captains and referees. Does
Yeah.
does the coach really need to be there? I don't think so. Um, I mean, as long as he's not chucking ice cubes at the referee, I think we'll be fine. So I think, yeah, I think that there is a right time and place for it. I don't know if you have to I don't know what everybody's routine is. I don't know what time people show up before the match, but like, yeah, like if you're a captain and you're just like, crap, I need a. I'm like, oh, you're like stuck in traffic. Oh shoot, I need a new. I mean, I'm an hour away from kickoff. You need more than an hour away from kickoff. You need to have this meeting, like
To
this
to
crucial meeting that
to
needs to be spoken on.
let me put it this way. To be fair, you already know they're they're already on their way. Like they're already in the team bus going to that stadium, going to, if it's going to be a Champions League, they're already flown in like the day before. They're flown in 2 days earlier, stuff like that. Like we already know how that situation goes. And I understand, like we're talking, like the way you're talking about it, it's like we're playing Sunday league. Like, damn it, I'm running late. My kid didn't want to eat his breakfast. I had this going on with my wife, so I got to drive faster a little bit. And then by the time you get there, the game's already started, and you're just like, and we both know the situation. It's not like that in professional football. In professional football, you're in the bus at a certain time. You're right then and there. But to me, I still don't like this rule. Like it's not something
It's not
that
needed.
is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I guess I want to say it's maybe like Bundesliga kind of trying to stretch their situation.
Hmm.
Like they're trying to stretch their I'm not trying to say they're trying to swing their dick around, but sorry, Kelcey. But I'm just saying, like, it's like they're trying to show you, hey, we're gonna have control of this game. Like us, the league, not the
Hmm.
players, not anybody else, not the coaches. It's just us. And I was just like, bruh, like serious, like serious. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I know, I agree. I don't think this is there's a clear opportunity where you can have this meeting, right? Like literally, it's not even gonna take that long. Like the ref could literally be saying it right before he flips the coin. So I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think we're on the same page on that aspect. Um, but like I said, maybe there's people that are just that dumb that do in fact need to be told this, and maybe that for that and at the end of the day, that's what rules are usually implemented for, because there's a small percentage of people that for some reason just can't comprehend that this needs to be done.
yeah,
Um, the rules are in place not because of a mass majority. It's always because of a vast minority. It's never, like, do we really need a rule that says do not kill someone? Like, I mean, you get what I mean? Like, do you have someone to tell you that this is a rule? That's kind of like the whole point of all this. But and I'm not trying to compare murder to having a dialogue, but yeah, that's kind of my viewpoint on it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if this minimizes anything in the Bundesliga. Does it reduce arguing with the referee? Does it reduce deliberate fouls? Does it reduce time wasting? I don't even think I've ever seen a fight in a Bundesliga match. But hey, maybe we'll see what happens there. We're gonna see the.
it's been there. It's just they know how to de-escalate the situation. And plus, I mean, you also have the teammates, who
As far as like
are
standards and practices, I feel like the Bundesliga is probably one of the more better leagues at it. Because I mean, literally La Liga, we had a player throw an ice cube at a referee. Um, Liga, I mean, literally when this podcast started, a fight broke out, and then apparently now a bunch of fans like storming onto the field. So I think like as far as a league that usually is really good at setting like the standard for how the league should be conducted, the Bundesliga is usually, I would say, is probably like one of the better leagues. I don't know if you feel the same way, Edward, but like, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this does reduce any of those issues, and I'm assuming if it does, maybe other leagues will end up copying suit.
it's just I hope not. I mean, I really hope not. I don't think so because I think everybody, I want to say, even the presidents of the league, the board, everybody, I think they see it the same way us as fans see it. It's like, why? Like, it's already said and done. It's a common sense thing. So there's no reason for me to go in early. It's kind of like going to those mid-morning meetings whenever you're like, all right, guys, we're going to talk about the same thing we talked about last week. It's like, okay. And it's like, you're there. You're doing this, you're doing that. Get it going. Let's have a good week kind of shit. Let's have a good game, whatever kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then and you're just like, okay, we just talked about this shit last week. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
why?
it's the
It's
epitome
common
of the
sense.
unnecessary meetings that you have at work.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this because I love the show. I love Michael Scott, but it's like the meetings that Michael Scott would set up for everybody in the office.
Whoa,
that person has really gotten him or herself into quite a predicament.
And I don't trust me, I love those meetings, but you already know some of those meetings were completely and utterly useless.
I'm just gonna insert the Daryl clip right here. Whoa,
This he or whoa or what did he say? Oh,
that
he
person
or
really
she
just
that person has really put themselves in quite a predicament.
yeah.
I was like, he or she. I was like,
That's going to
that's
be
it.
on this episode.
Gold.
But all right, we'll move on to the next topic, man. So I'm gonna save this topic for later. But the other thing, so it's kind of an update to last episode. We talked about La Liga having a La Liga match played here in the United States, which is going to be Barcelona versus Villarreal on December 20th. It is scheduled. It is set to happen to be in Miami. A lot of people are completely against it. Most of La Liga, obviously Real Madrid as well, are actually have filed a complaint to La Liga, questioning the fairness of this match because of one, it's actually a home game for Villarreal, and going into or anywhere that's not Spain, you would figure it's going to be very much favorable to Barcelona, which, I mean, let's face it, Barcelona is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Why wouldn't they have a massive following versus Villarreal? So that is one of the issues that's been addressed on it. Before we get more into the nitty gritty about this, Edward, your thoughts of Barcelona Villarreal being played here in Miami in December 20th. And I say here as if we're from Miami, but we're here in the United States.
Well, let me see. Hold on. See what- It's just no. Well, you started off because I'm still reading. Let me put it that way. I'm still reading.
I mean, yeah. Barcelona and Villarreal are set to play a game in Miami on December 20th. That match is supposed to be a home game for Villarreal. Yeah, that's basically the
The
details
gist
of
of
the
it.
bullet points.
Well,
And everybody else is mad because it's a La Liga match being played not in Spain.
not in Spain, not in Barcelona, because or I'm sorry, Villarreal.
Yeah, and I think most people understand that those road games, at least those home matches, are important for teams like Villarreal to get some sort of advantage, especially when you're going against Barcelona. Though I think Barcelona has been very good at Villarreal. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think they're actually
I mean, the thing is like, uh, what was it? You got to think about it too this way, and I can see why people from La Liga would be mad about that. Um, First of all, they're playing in Miami. Who lives in Miami? Messi. Fans of Messi, they have the Inter Miami jerseys. They also have Barcelona jerseys. There's a lot of Barcelona fans around here in the US. I'm pretty sure they are willing to travel to Miami just to go watch the Barcelona play. Villarreal, I personally don't know any hardcore fans of the fan base, but I can be assured that there are more Barcelona fans close by to Miami than there are Villarreal fans. So it's like, um, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's like Villarreal needs the presence, requests the presence of their fans to be there. And it's like that home game, the home field advantage. It's like the fans change the game. You
ah,
know,
son of a bitch. Liverpool
when
scored a
they
goal.
start when they start, chanting, when they start cheering, when they start booing, when everything like whistling, everything. It's the setting, the ambiance of the stadium. You already know when the counterattack comes against Barcelona, damn well everybody's like, they're all excited. Here comes a counter. Here comes a goal. Here comes a goal. It helps. It gives that boost to the players. Now, playing overseas, n- not ideal for a La Liga game. Not ideal.
Whew, Jesus Christ, what a goal.
Who
What a
scored it?
goal by Sobasai.
Who?
Free kick outside the yeah, that's Yeah, David Raya's not going to stop. That's what a
But
goal. Anyways, go back. Go
but
ahead.
yeah, no, I mean it's I'm just saying, it's just I guess
No,
it,
I understand like it in all the sense of the world. Like I know that but it's just funny to say La Liga is trying to be global when they're in fact global. But
yeah,
they understand like how the U.S. market is just going to be a good guarantee for them. For La Liga, I mean, you've seen how these stadiums are packed when Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, whatever, when any of the big clubs in the world come down to the U.S. for these preseason matches, how packed it gets. I mean, even the Club World Cup, when it was a big team, aside from the Chelsea game in Atlanta, because that was at 3 in the morning, 3 p.m. But usually the crowd is very packed. Like I mean, I remember AC Milan versus Real Madrid in I believe it was in the Rose Bowl, packed. Barcelona Real Madrid in AT&T Stadium, right in Dallas, Texas, or well, Arlington, Texas, technically, packed, right? Because it's El Clasico. I mean, shoot, me and Ever, we were trying to get tickets, and it the finances was hard. We had to move things from our savings to our checking, and it just wasn't going to make sense. But we get it. Like, and I mean UEFA. Let's be honest. Like, I'll get to UEFA at some point, but UEFA's even thinking about having the Champions League final be played here in the U.S. as well. At some point, I don't know when, but at some point they're thinking about having it played here in the U.S., which to many may seem as blasphemous. I think it's kind of weird not to have it in Europe, but it's going to be packed and it's probably going to be stupid expensive as well. But yes, I get the allure of having Barcelona here, especially Miami. You made a valid point about Messi being there, and at the end, Barcelona fans are everywhere. So you could have done it in California, you could have done it in New York, you could have done it in Texas, you could have done it in Arizona. Any of these states, you're gonna get a good crowd because it's Barcelona. Now for Villarreal's aspect, which I think this is where, in my opinion, is the BS, Edward. For them, that home game, if as far as I know once again that Barcelona usually has a really good track record against Villarreal at Villarreal, but like they need something. Like for me, in all fairness, it would make the most sense is to make that a home match for Barcelona because it's gonna be a home match for Barcelona regardless. Like
yeah,
take away a home. I mean, Camp Nou is not even built yet, so I mean
yeah,
like. Why? Like to me, the only thing that I would say and UEFA's now stepping in because of what La Liga complains, and
yeah,
which one I'm calling complete total BS on UEFA because this is not them trying to be the White Knight, right? Because they did the same thing with the Spanish Super Cup. They didn't. I'm not the Spanish Super Cup, the Super League. And it's not because they're trying to do things for the sanctity of the game. They're doing it because hey, we at least want a little bit of that money. They're not
yeah,
getting
yeah.
anything.
We know that the way UEFA thinks, it's like all about the money. It's not about, you know, loyalty, the fan loyalty, the players, basically everything. They're just, yeah. I mean, think about it. We were talking about this when they were introducing the Super Cup League,
Mm-hmm.
with all these big name teams, and literally it was all about the money. They just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to bring in the money.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about like, oh, this is going to be a competition and all this and that and the other, and it's going to be a league, blah, 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 blah. No, it was never about like, oh my God, we're going to get to see Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid a lot more often during the year. That's going to be great. No, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about the money. And then it's like you said, they're just trying to get their hand in the cookie jar, and they're trying to make sure that they get a cookie.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so yeah, UEFA now has stepped in. They heard the cries of all of La Liga sides, not named Barcelona. And also, mind you, Barcelona is still not in the best place financially. So that probably also bodes them well to why exactly they would have a match played here in the United States. Um, but yeah, UEFA stepped in because of concerns of the integrity of domestic competitions, which once again, that's a load of BS. Because if that was the case, then UEFA should have said something when the Spanish Super Cup is being played in Saudi Arabia. But with them stepping in, essentially a decision is going to be made on September 11th, because great things happen on September 11th, and to decide if Miami is even going to happen, or will it not happen. The reason is, to be honest, Edward, Jesus Christ, I'm becoming a sister. The reality is it's already been placed. It's already been set in stone. Like, this is going to at least unless there is some sort of logistical error that La Liga and Barcelona, which both sides agreed upon this. I guess somehow Villarreal too, but and I mean, Villarreal is going to get something out of this. I mean, they're going to get money from all the revenue that's coming from this match. Like, it seems likely it's going to happen. UEFA, just regardless of what the decision is going to happen, because once again, you have all the way till December 20th to try to stop it. They're going to try to recruit FIFA, and once again,
Yep.
FIFA isn't a white knight, and we know this because of the whole Super League thing. They're no white knight. The same thing as UEFA. Like, they want some money too. Speaking of, they also want a cookie. So, and I think the ultimate thing, Edward, that's going to ruin their argument is in Serie A, they are doing a similar thing. Because AC Milan and Como are going to be playing in Australia in February, which is actually going to be a home match for AC Milan and it actually works well for them because San Siro is going to be used for the Winter Olympics. I believe it's the opening ceremony that day. So there's a valid reason. It's a home match for AC Milan, so it takes that out. Like, at least the argument's sake, it doesn't hurt Como as much because it's going to be a home game for AC Milan.
Well, I mean, I guess I agree with you on that one. So, I mean, I'm on board with you on that one because you said it's a good reason. I can't fight it.
To me, I would say that if you switch the home team, I get the logic why you're gonna have a game in Miami. It makes all the sense in the world, and then everybody, not only is Barca fans gonna be there, but a crap ton of people hoping that they can see Messi. Which, I mean, I don't know how you think you're gonna see Messi. That guy's is gonna. You're not even gonna know he walked into the stadium.
He's gonna be in I'm pretty damn sure he has his own suite box.
Exactly.
Not like his whole family has a whole suite. They're not
entering the same way as everybody else is entering.
Oh no, they're not. They're if anything, they're entering to the players' entrance.
Like, I'm sure they'll do like a little zoom in on, kind of like a Coldplay thing where they zoom in on Messi.
Oh God. Here we go with the Coldplay thing.
Actually, Messi was featured in the Coldplay concert because Messi's I don't know.
Oh, that was right. He was.
With his wife.
With his wife. Not with like the sports therapist or anything like that. It was his wife.
Messi is a one gal guy. So.
Yeah.
At least we hope so.
Oh, bro, the way that he carries himself, he has. I'm not putting down Messi in any way.
He took a picture with a woman, right? And he didn't even promote. He
took a picture with many women, and he literally either keeps his hands to his side, or if they're like, "Hey, can you go ahead and hug?" Yeah, sure. He goes ahead and puts like his forearm on the back of them or whatever, but his hand never clasps. His hand never closes. It doesn't. He just leaves it open. It's like, just like a picture,
Mm-hmm.
And the girl's like all over there, like hugging him, grabbing his shoulder, kind of stuff like that. Maybe putting their arm around his waist, kind of stuff. But he's over here, like, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like he'll be putting both his hands in the middle of his, like in front of him, kind of like if he's taking a picture for the team picture, just there, like this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's smiling. But it's like, not trying to knock Messi, not trying to knock his looks, not trying to knock anything about like.
Oh, Messi's a good-looking guy.
No, he's a good. This is what I'm saying. He doesn't have that chutzpah, machista kind of feel where he feels the
Oh,
girl looking for him. Then he's
mm,
like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Like starts smacking on her kind of stuff. Like he doesn't give off that vibe, and he
no,
doesn't. He's very
he's no
timid.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No,
So
no, Cristiano Ronaldo, he'll be smiling and everything, flashing everything and everything. I'm not saying Cristiano Ronaldo is that type of guy.
also,
The
congrats on the engagement by him, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
It took 3 children, but still,
still, yeah.
he found the one. Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Candidips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Candidips CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of BellyUpSports. She definitely was gonna say yes, but no. Coming back to this thing, like I said, if and I'm fine with this happening. This match is perfectly fine with it. The only thing I would say, if they can just switch the home team, if they can make that a home game for Barcelona, because it's going to be a home game for Barcelona regardless, make that their home game, and then the return fixture be a Villarreal home game. So like Barcelona doesn't get to play in Camp Nou, which hopefully by then it's built, or at least finally renovated. Then they play at Villarreal on the return leg. That's the only thing I'm saying. That's the only issue I have with all this, because frankly, I get it. Growing the game, it's an easy cash grab. For people that gets mad calling everything is a cash grab. Like the FIFA Club World Cup, cash grab. That's why they expanded the Club World Cup. It's a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
The World Cup essentially is a cash grab. I mean, let's be honest. It's like one of the biggest events in the world. Just like any musical festival, is anything that you have to spend money to attend is a cash grab. I don't know why people make it seem like it's like as if this is new. That everything in life is a cash grab. Going to a movie theater is a cash grab. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to a hole right now. But
You're going into a rant.
but like honestly, like I get the I mean, same thing for AC Milan versus Como. That's going to be a cash grab. You're going to get a bunch of Aussies excited to go see AC Milan and Cesc Fabregas. So I mean, like. I can't. Well, there's some good. No, I mean, Nicolas Paz, from over there at Como, he's been killing it over there. But like, it just, I get why, especially with these big clubs, why they can get away with doing these kind of decisions. Like, for instance, in the NFL, if the NFL were to really want to have like a good like London, Brazil, Mexico game, they would put in their heavy hitters, right? They would send Kansas City to go play in London, not the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Miami Dolphins. Like, you know what I mean? Like, La Liga knows, like, if I'm going to send a team over there, I'm going to send a heavy hitter. Like, I'm going to send a team that's going to guarantee me, that's going to put ass on the seats. Sorry, Kelcey. Like I'm going to put Atletico Madrid. I'm going to put Real Madrid. I'm going to put Barcelona. Saying if you're the English Premier League, why wouldn't you put, the big six over there? And vice versa for any league. You're going to put your heavy hitters in there because that's going to guarantee you the most money. So, and I get why Barcelona La Liga thought, hey, let's do this here in Miami, because why not? I mean, obviously Miami has a lot of Spanish influence, and on top of that, your GOAT is over there. So
yeah,
it makes all the sense in the world. Once again, I'm not hating on this because of any of it, what is in front of you. My issue is just, once again, you're robbing Villarreal a home game.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint. Aside from everything else, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Now I have a question. And is there any other teams that are being robbed like that? Is every team in La Liga, or in every team in Europe, are they being robbed of that? Not every team in Europe, I'm tripping balls. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, is everybody basically giving away a home game? Like, is everybody?
No, because it's just Barcelona and Villarreal.
Okay.
That's literally the only game being played in Miami. So essentially, on December 20th, that weekend, whenever everybody else, they're going to be playing their fixtures in Spain.
Okay.
It's just that Miami, and And people can make the same argument. Oh, they're both going to be jet lagged. They have to fly from Spain over to the United States, and I get that they're both dealing with the same issues as far as that goes. And also I would say December is probably a great time to go to Miami because it's not going to be,
Cold.
hot as hell and not cold. So double win for there. But yes, and I get that they're going through the same issue. That whatever they're facing, both of them are going to face the same things because they're both traveling overseas to play this match. And they'll both be trying to adjust to the time zone and all. I get all those things. The only issue, and I'm gonna reiterate again, is that you're taking away a home match for Villarreal because this was scheduled to be a home match for Villarreal. So it's not going to be a home match for Villarreal. Maybe there might be some yellow jerseys out in the stands. There might be a few sprinkling there and there, but it's going to be nothing but Barca fans. Vast majority. I could throw if I somehow could afford to go to that stadium and afford a trip to Miami. If I threw a rock out into the stands, I'm going to hit a Barca fan. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how safe of a bet that I'm making on this.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's supposed to be a VRL home game, but it's gonna be a Barcelona home game more than likely. Unless if and I'm using a big if. Unless
there goes the invincible season for Arsenal this year.
Well, no, and if Villarreal somehow, and this is a long shot, Villarreal somehow is like, hey, our VIPs or most important fans, the guys that have like season tickets for years, or even, they have like the premium package, platinum package, whatever. They went ahead, hey, you know what? We'll foot the bill for the flight. Just, this is gonna be on this day.
I mean,
that's really
for a Cule aspect. I mean, that's what they call the Barca fans, right? Cules.
Yeah, Cule.
I think for their aspect, I mean, yeah, the Barca fans that are in fact from Barcelona are probably not gonna like it because well, I mean, actually, it doesn't really affect them because it's a home game, it's a road game for them, so it doesn't. I mean, unless they were planning on driving to Villarreal.
Los hinchas, like, they're the fans, like the ones that have like they have like the little clique, the ones that are like, con las bucelas, like
I think for
the
them,
ones that sing the songs, those might actually go because they're part of like the Barcelona team.
Yeah, but you're gonna have, like the thing is, there's so many Barcelona supporter groups here in the U.S. Like, I mean, there's a Barca supporter group that I think they actually hang out at the same bar as the Arsenal fans. I think it's called the Houston Coolers. But I don't know why I know that name. But well, it's because
you do your research. You do your research. Is all it is.
Because I went to the bar with the H-Town Gooners, which. I hate that the word gooner is now a word that can't be used. At least because of the stupid modern dictionary that these stupid teenagers have. But the H-Town Gooners, I mean, they hang out at the same bar as the Barca group. So that bar is also a bar. It's a Barcelona bar, which is I'm very indifferent about that. But I think that there's like a ton of supporter groups. There's so many chapters here in the U.S. that
doesn't Barcelona have an academy here in the U.S. as well?
The Residential Academy in Arizona. So I mean, like Barcelona, and I mean it's Barcelona. It's just, like I said, once again, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like, I mean, there's fans everywhere. Like it's literally in the world when it comes to guaranteed fandom. And for people say support your local, fuck off. Sorry for cussing. It's split down the middle. You're either gonna like Real Madrid or you're gonna be a Barca fan.
Yep.
And then there's those one few people that try to go against the grain and be Atletico Madrid fans. Love you, Spencer.
I was about to say, I was like, are you talking about my boy Spencer?
Love you, Spencer, and love you, Jack from Deadball TV. But it is but it is literally split down the middle when it comes to Barcelona and Real Madrid. Like either you hate Barcelona or you hate Real Madrid. Like there's you either defend Cristiano Ronaldo or you defend Lionel Messi, which is a stupid debate. But But
It's still
that's
going on to this day, even
still going,
after,
bro. These guys are gonna retire.
and they're still gonna be like, "Oh,
You know,
Messi was always this,
I
Messi was
talk
always
about how
that."
like the Messi Ronaldo era, how it overshadowed so many people's careers,
Oh yeah, dude. No,
and
it
like
did.
technically it still kind of is. Like even though they're not playing in Europe, well, they're both not playing in Europe anymore, and people are still rather talk about that than hey, look at Lamine Yamal. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
No,
that's
well,
funny.
Lamine Yamal is bringing attention to himself for all the wrong reasons.
There's some good reasons, but I mean, I get that. Also, probably concussed the guy. Uh, Actually, I don't
Yeah.
think he concussed him. It was a big hit to the head. I give it that, but I know a lot of people were complaining about that goal, but it wasn't his goal. It was Ferran Torres' goal. But obviously, he was the one that hit the guy in the head. But I digress. That's not important to this discussion. Once again, I think it's gonna happen. The match is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Barcelona, Villarreal, December 20th, Miami. It's gonna happen. The only thing would be I don't even know if you can what governing body can make the change, because I think obviously when the schedule was released, this was the agreed upon match, right? That this was going to be a road game for Barcelona. They're going to play against Villarreal. Like I don't know how you change that, and I don't think you really can. So, it's at this point it's like it's what's done is done. I don't think FIFA and UEFA can really affect it by any means. I think once the decision is made on September 11th, whether or not they're going to play in Spain or they're going to play in Miami, we're going to have a Barcelona Villarreal December 20th. And I think it's going to, and I actually feel pretty confident to say that's going to happen in Miami, because I think at this point, if there was, like, first of all, why didn't anybody speak on this when there was discussions? Like, I'm sure La Liga was talking about it amongst all the meetings with all the other clubs that, hey, we are talking, like, Villarreal, for them to be offended at this point, like, you agreed to this. You could have easily have just said no, and you didn't. You agreed on it because, one, it's a cash grab. It makes the most sense in the world to do this because it's a cash grab. But, yeah, like, I think if you had such a big issue with this, why didn't you say something before the discussions were placed? Because this isn't a move that you could just, like, Edward, you and me can't just say, hey, we're going to go to Spain tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, we can't just out of nowhere just say, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna go to Spain, guys."
like there's so much logistics involved with it that there's no way that this could just be like a snap of a finger like Thanos and bam, we're there. So like there was discussions in place. Villarreal at no point felt that there was anything wrong with this until all of a sudden, unfortunately, Real Madrid spoke out, and then that's when things became a problem. So.
Yep.
Which, I mean, let's be honest, most of the Spanish, I'm confused at this point. Is the Spanish board mostly Barcelona or is it mostly Real Madrid? Because everyone keeps saying that we favor each other. So the board favors like one of the other. So, it's confusing. I don't know. I digress. But yeah, Spanish football for you. But once again, it's hypocritical at this point because once again, it's in Italy, in the Serie A, they agreed to having a match in Australia, and no one's talking about that, by the way. Which once again, I think it's because everyone loves Australia. So
Yeah.
I think everyone has every reason to hate America, but Australia, yeah, that's fine. Giant spiders. So
Oh, dude. Yeah. Watch out for those toilets there. Jeez.
I
Hey,
remember,
no, showing love,
shout out to
showing
Stuart.
love to Australia though. Showing love to Australia, dude. That is one country I would love to go visit. Like, I would love to go and explore.
Shout out to Stuart White, by the way, because one of the first questions I ever asked him when I interviewed him on the podcast was, so how is it like just being Australian, knowing that like everything out there is ready to kill you? So, it was something along those lines.
Bro,
Man.
I even heard koalas are like vicious too. Like they may
so
look really
my hopes
cute
of
and
ever
fluffy
meeting
and
a
stuff.
koala is just ruined. So, and then
You still can.
and then you get beat up by a very much shredded kangaroo.
Oh
So
yeah. A boxing kangaroo.
a boxing kangaroo, dude, those things are freaking jacked. Like I was like, good God. Anyways, but yeah, so that's what's going on in La Liga. Like I said, I'm very confident that a match is gonna be played in Miami and it's gonna be Barcelona versus Villarreal. Because at this point, like everything, they're all like, bro, Hard Rock Stadium, like they're already doing all the planning to make sure that this match happens.
Yeah,
So like everyone's already planned it. This is something that it takes more than a couple months to prepare for. Like
yeah.
this, like there's been discussions, like
Well,
plenty ones.
actually, you brought up a good topic earlier. Like, you know how you said that fans are going to be like, oh, they're going to be jet lagged, they're going to be this, they're going to be that. Um, how many days earlier are they going to leave? That's
Hindsight,
actually,
hindsight wise, you should probably like you whatever match day you have, right? Like if you're Barcelona, and you play on Saturday, like rest Sunday, right? Monday you're flying to Miami. Cause
damn.
think about it. Just train. You're gonna train at Inter Miami's facility because
Yeah.
Inter Miami is not their season's over by that point. So you have their whole facility to yourselves.
But the domestic part
If
is
you're
though.
Villarreal, I guess this is a question now. Does Villarreal go hang out at Miami Dolphins camp? So, but
No,
like there's options.
then that's what I was about to say too. Like, what if what if they do kind of how they do World Cup scenarios? Like, they'll go ahead and train for 2 days. Let's say Barcelona trains like two, 1 day, whatever, what have you. And then Villarreal goes and trains in the next day, and then they both have like that day off, and then they go play. You know
So
what I mean?
as someone that actually had in fact dealt with something kind of like this, not with clubs, but it was like internationally because obviously Gold Cup was it Gold Cup? Was it Gold Cup? Anyway, it was some sort of game. But Mexico was in town. I think it was Gold Cup. Now that I think about it, it was like Mexico. El Salvador was here for a while, so that was kind of cool. It's like mi gente. Um, there was another country. I don't remember. But anyways, so each club had a time. I don't know why I said club when it's an international team, but they had like time slots. So
So I mean,
Mexico, Mexico came in the morning. I believe the next country. There's time slots, and
yeah,
it
and that's what I was referring to as well. Like, like they both could go to Inter Miami's facilities,
yeah
and then
they
just
because honestly what makes the most sense in that scenario is that they need to get acclimated to whatever the weather's going to be in Miami. So a week. I mean, obviously you can't do 2 weeks unless there's an international break, but in 2 weeks, a week it gives you at least for this kind of a not really short notice. It's a lie, but like within the time frame of a match between matches, this is probably like your best bet. Hopefully, there's no match in the middle of the week, but you want to get acclimated as soon as you can to the weather.
yeah, of
Um,
course.
so I think for them and the time zone as well. So you want to get there Monday, maybe nothing too crazy, maybe a light training session, maybe some video just to get yourself adjusted to the time zone and then start training on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday start training, you know, obviously kind of pace yourself as you will because once again you just came from a flight. But yeah, like I think that's really what you have to do and then come match day be as prepared as you can. I like my question will be: is it going to be played on turf? Because I'm not entirely sure about Hard Rock Cafe Stadium.
And that's actually what I was going to tell you. Like, that was one thing of my concerns. Like, already, Camp Nou, like those fields over there in Spain, they're natural
Mhm.
grass, and it's like really high end grass. Like,
Though I
you
will
know,
say, because we are like literally months away from a World Cup. Um, actually, no, we're not. We're well, actually, technically, I guess we can't say months because we're less than a year away from the World Cup. Um, the the thing is that most of the stadiums that are hosting, which Miami is a host city, they need to be FIFA compliant, and in order to be FIFA compliant, you need to have natural grass fields. So they
yeah.
have to switch from the turf. So Miami probably already has the natural grass fields. I don't know if they're going to use that to play on during the NFL season because that would be diabolical.
Yeah,
But
because like I mean, if you think about it, like I'm just going back to the Gold Cup. I'm going back to the Gold Cup to how or the what is it? What is it? No, no, I
well,
take it back. Not the Gold Cup.
Gold
No, no,
Cup never
not
really made the change.
not the Gold Cup. Not the Gold Cup. I'm going
Copa
back
America,
to no, no, not even that. I'm going back to um the Club International Cup.
FIFA Club World
Uh,
Cup.
yeah, FIFA Club World Cup. How all these clubs, all these teams were saying, man, like
Oh no,
the
that was grass.
the That was grass.
Yeah, that was
Man,
grass.
they were saying that, man, like they said that the stadiums were like
I think
it was
what
just
failed,
hard. It was everything. So it was just
what
like
well once again, like the thing that massively failed on that part is just the fact that, or maybe they did hybrid grass, I don't remember, but new grass is going to be slippery. This is coming out of someone that also works in the landscape industry. Um, it's gonna be slippery. There's gonna be a lot of trial and error, especially when you're not entirely sure what grass type works best for certain stadiums. Prime example for the Astros. If you guys don't know, Astros use Pasplama grass. It's one of the grass types that's usually not very high maintenance because it doesn't require a lot of sunlight. You do need to give it sunlight, but it's not. It can get by with a not too much. And if all else fails, you can use like lights. Like there's these certain lights that you could put on the grass that'll kind of, I guess, be a good substitute
yeah,
for sunlight. But it just goes down to like the time you have to get the grass nice and situated, making sure the grass receives the soil very well. This is all the technical nerdy grass stuff that I've learned now in my life as a turf product
just to,
specialist. But it is a tricky thing. There's probably gonna be slippage because once again they probably didn't necessarily did it in ample time to make sure that the grass really did receive in
like
with the
stick.
soil. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so I understand the issues now, unless they were using hybrid, which might have been like it's a hybrid turf / real grass thing. I don't know how the fuck that works. Sorry for cussing, Kelcey. But it's a whole mess of stuff. But yeah, when you just put grass out there and just pray that it maybe works out, it's gonna be a recipe for a lot of slippage.
disaster.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But then that's where I'm getting to. Like, are these matches going to be, is that going to be a something that we can feel that the Barcelona and Villarreal are going to basically criticize and say, hey man, like playing here, it was not like playing at Camp Nou, it was not playing like at Villarreal. They could even say like Barcelona players could say Villarreal has a better field than this, stuff like that. It's just a lot of different scenarios in my head, you
I mean,
know.
there's definitely gonna be a complaint. Like if someone gets injured, there's gonna be a complaint. And then it goes back to the whole thing. U.S. isn't ready to host the World Cup. Blah blah blah. They don't have the infrastructure. Blah blah blah. It's gonna happen. But if that happens, if someone were to get hurt, specifically maybe an important player, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't want to wish any injuries upon anybody because I'm not a horrible human being. But if someone were to get hurt because of the conditions of the grass, hopefully in this time Miami has already done their due diligence and made sure that the grass was well received and it's not dying and they have maintained it well so it's not slippery. And hopefully no one gets hurt. If someone does get hurt, it just goes back to the whole thing about how U.S. is not prepared to host the World Cup. And obviously then the image again of the Colombians sneaking in through the ducks, through their ducks, which still can't believe that was a thing. But it's a whole mixture of things. As long as they, and right now they have ample time. This is the best amount of time as they can get to prepare that grass, make sure it's ready. Hopefully they're playing on real grass, and if not, if it's going to be on turf, hopefully it's not as messed up by the Miami Dolphins games and University of Miami games.
okay. So yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of components, a lot of thoughts on my mind about, this situation, this scenario.
It's gonna be funny if there's somebody out there that's actually like a groundskeeper and he just tells you everything, like everything he said's a lie. Nothing that he said made completely sense.
I mean, but
I award you no points and God mercy or so. That was a
so
Billy Madison.
if there's what you call it, if there is a sort of if there's a sort of groundskeeper listening out there, um you know don't take Hector's word for it.
I just sell turf products. I don't actually do it. So even though I did do
But
it for the
yeah,
Houston Nationals.
yeah.
So there's that. All right. The last headline And we talked about Barcelona, a team that Edward is actually happy to say that he's a fan of, and to Manchester United. So
Look, listen, Linda, listen.
like
Uh,
I'll say this: the bar was already pretty low, but good God,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you guys were living under a rock, which I don't know if you guys even turned on any social media app, it was there. maybe you have a better what's it called?
Grasp,
Huh?
a better grasp.
No, what's it called? Like algorithm. Maybe your algorithm doesn't give you any like Manchester United or football content. Which wonder what that life is like. but yeah. So Manchester United, which good for them. They did win this past weekend, so at least there's some positive to give for them. But yeah, they did get eliminated from the Carabao Cup, which is normally most people say they probably don't care about the Carabao Cup. But when you get eliminated in the earlier stages of the Carabao Cup, because more often than not you're playing against very like low division sides, and for Manchester United's case, they got eliminated in the Carabao Cup to League Two side. That's three divisions below the Premier League. If you guys don't know that,
Yeah.
League Two side Grimsby Town. They lost. They drew 2-2. Had to go into penalties, which now I have learned when everyone has already kicked a penalty, they just go all the way back to the beginning. So I was always curious about that. I have never seen penalties go past like 11.
5 or 7. I think
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've only, I think at the top the most, I think it was like 7 or 8. We never seen like,
And I think me and I would probably have had this conversation a few times. Like, what happens when you get to like the 12 guy, like to the 11 guy, like, and then they're still going. Like, what do you get the subs in? Does a coach eventually have? I would love to. My dumb rule. This is my dumb rule. Get a fan. Like, find the drunkest fan. And
oh God, dude, no, just no. You know damn well they're
you
gonna
know,
end up
like
slipping
my
and
fan's
falling.
better than yours, kind of like face off.
Oh God, this dude's over here talking about like we got a lottery, fan number so and so. Come down. You're
Would
about
that
to kick a penalty.
look, man?
You're
If
acting.
I
You're
get a
acting. You're
chance to
you're
say
acting. You're
we,
acting. You're acting. You're acting like if La
I said it
Liga
was a dumb
or
rule.
EPL is like the NBA where they're like, hey, this is halftime. We're gonna have this dude shoot a half court shot, see if he can make it for these $10,000 kind of deal. You're literally in front of thousands of screaming fans.
I said it was a dumb rule. I
All
didn't say
right,
it
well,
was a good rule. I said it was a dumb rule.
oh wait, actually, all right, Bundesliga, calm down. I'm just saying.
I said Hector's dumb rule. Just pick a fan and have him kick the penalty kick for you.
Hector's dumb rule number 275.
And I mean, you have to do both sides, right? So like Manchester United goes over to their supporter corner, find the drunkest fan in there, and say, "Hey, you're about to try to stop this penalty kick." And then Grimsby Town goes, which I'm sure it's not very hard for them to find a drunk fan, will be like,
Oh,
you
damn.
sir, let's go." And they do a 1-off PK to see who.
Jesus.
I once again, dumb rule, but now I know that whenever you go past the 11, you just start all over again from the bottom. So, from the start. So that was interesting. But yeah, so, and I guess a lot of frustration came from this match because of the fact that like the guys that Manchester United, which went on a shopping spree this transfer window,
Yeah, they
maybe
did.
not
I'm
the
just
best performances for them. At least that's what that's what I've been seeing from everybody's complaints. Because look, as someone that used to get trolled on for everything that Arsenal Fan TV says, because let's be honest, the reason why Arsenal Fan TV got so popular was because of how depressing it was to be an Arsenal supporter. And you know, seeing them get mad, saying that they wanted the coach fired, that calling everybody a bum and all those things. I get it; it's hilarious. Don't think Manchester United necessarily has that kind of channel, but you know, when not, you can't do that. Then just roast anybody that hashtag Manchester United at that point. But yeah, I know that it was like at least frustrating to see that the big signings, which was Embueno, Sesko, who you wanted,
Yep.
And who's the other one? Kuna.
Oh yeah.
Not the best performances, at least from what I saw in the highlights. Wasn't a great, not the best performances by them.
Yeah. I agree. No, I'm just like, man, it's just I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just that's my reaction. I'm just like
Yeah, so the result led to further frustration on the fan base because once again, this club has essentially been in shambles since Sir Alex Ferguson left. I mean, you can have that one highlight where Jose Mourinho won you the Europa League, but
You mean when he got the tattoo? Yeah.
no, I mean, yeah, he got a tattoo for each trophy that he got.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's can't forget that. Never forget that. Thank you for reminding everybody about that tattoo. And so if you're a fan of the club, more frustration. If you're someone that's not a fan of Manchester United and you're actually all for the downfall of Manchester United, the material,
Uh,
the material that was given, I feel terrible because everyone. I've had some people say like they just roasting Ruben Amorim, who so he has his notebook, right? And he has like a little tactics board.
oh my God, yes. Oh my
If you guys don't know what a
God.
tactics board is, a tactics board is most coaches all most coaches have this. It's just a little
About
board
99% of them have the board.
with like these little magnet pieces where you can like create your team's formation, and you usually have pieces for the opposing team. So once you figure out what the other opposing team's formation is, you kind of do it, and you start trying to draw up ideas of what you can do to play, strategies to go against that formation, those tactics, and how they're pressing, how they're moving the ball around. Like, are they going more wing focus? Are they trying to play it through the inside, go through the channels? All these things. Also, I'm a tactics nerd, if you guys haven't noticed. But
Oh, he is. He is. Trust me, he is.
um,
He
so
if I was to make a job as a coach, I'd be like, you know what? I'll take the job, but I will demote myself to an assistant coach and make this guy the head coach.
that would be a terrible idea. I would hire Juan Carlos who's now at Carolina Corp, but I love that man. Love you, JC.
Damn. Damn.
Dude,
So basically,
JC
I'm no,
is
no.
great.
So basically, what you're saying is, if I get the job and I promote you to head coach and make myself assistant coach, I would get fired from the assistant coach job. Is
No,
what
no,
you're
you'll
telling
still
me?
be an assistant coach. I will demote myself as also an assistant coach because then I just want to listen to whatever JC says. So,
Oh, okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
because JC is the man.
All
JC, if
right.
you're listening to this, by the way, I love you.
He clearly loves you if he's willing to make you head coach. Give the man his job. He will be assistant to the
he's
assistant
he's
to the
also a Manchester
coach.
United fan.
Oh man,
So,
I feel you, brother. I feel your pain, dude.
but yeah, so
Trust me. I'm pretty. If you've overheard the previous podcast, the previous recordings, you know damn well I was so excited about Benjamin Sesko.
I mean, there's still time.
I know he's still got time to put himself out there, but
So with in the Manchester United aspect,
in
I don't know
Manchester
how much
United,
of a time he
yeah,
does have. So,
yeah, exactly, and
but
that's what's scary. He's good. Like they need to
he's
keep
definitely
him.
not a
Period.
Hojlund.
No,
He's
he's
definitely not a
not.
Hojlund
He's not. He's not. And but the thing is,
or a
that's what
Xerxes.
I feel like. Oh no, that's the thing. Well, actually, Xerxes has a little bit more little speed, more
I think
little.
coming off the bench, could be very helpful, especially when you
Yeah,
tire out that back line long enough. You put him
yeah,
in, and it's just a giant pain in the ass. Sorry for cussing,
yep.
Kelcey. Um,
But anyways, getting back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, so obviously the that image of Amorim trying to figure out the tactics and all that, people started roasting him, saying that this guy has no idea what he's doing. The funny thing is that this is exactly what you're supposed to be
Yeah,
doing. So I
basically,
feel terrible because it's like, no, he's doing his job.
no. The thing is, there's a lot of people that have been using AI or have been using Photoshop, and they've
Yeah,
been putting different stuff. There's somebody who actually, and I
he's like,
love
there's
this
one
one.
of him rolling a blunt. There was one of him
No,
DJing.
there was one of him that it was Pokemon cards. It was a binder of Pokemon
Yeah,
cards.
I saw that one.
I was
Yeah, they're
like,
really just
bruh.
going to town with it, and I mean, this is what why the internet's there. But I believe they also did one of him giving a guy a haircut. So
Oh God.
yeah, like it's and there's videos too. There's also videos.
Jesus.
So it's the internet's impressive. I'm just over here addicted to making myself a cartoon. Others are doing more high tech stuff than I am.
Just do say high tech stuff. Pissed.
But anyways, and then on top of this, the not the funniest thing, because I think the Ruben Amorim tactics board thing was still pretty funny, but the goalkeeper for Grimsby Town, the keeper that ended up obviously one that stopped. Well, I don't even know if he stopped the penalty. I think he hit the post. I did not want to replay that match. But Christy Pym, that's the name of the goalkeeper for Grimsby Town. He actually admitted that he was half fuming because he's in fact a Manchester United fan. So,
Oh, damn.
which is the most League Two thing to ever say, because once again, this guy's like, this is not my full time job.
Think about it. Think about it this way. What was that? Was that the Australian team? Was it the Australian team that faced off against Bayern Munich?
Oh, the New Zealand team.
Yeah, the New Zealand team. Remember, the goalkeeper is a warehouse worker. He was just called up to be a goalkeeper, and then he was going against his idol. Was it in Bayern Munich, Manuel Neuer?
Hmm?
Even though they went against Bayern Munich, right? And then he faced against Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, and he got like
And
emotional.
yeah, he got emotional, but he got scored on 12-0,
Hmm.
but he got emotional. Now, mind you, as a fan, you're a fan of this team. You're a fan of a player in this team,
I
and
don't
you
know
play
about a
against
fan
him.
about a player, but
No, but well, I'm saying like him, like he said, that's his idol. That's who he
oh yeah. No, I
was
get that.
looking up to, you know? So imagine that. Like you're the goalkeeper for Grimsby. Let's say you're like, you know what? I want to be like Edwin van der Sar. Like he's that type of fan. And you expect Onana, you expect any goalkeeper playing for Manchester United to be of that caliber. And then when you see that shit happening and you're the one that's actually the showstopper of the game for that, you're going head to head with a Premier League goalie from your favorite team that you're thinking this dude is probably going to be a better goalkeeper than I am, kind of stuff. And
Hmm.
yet it goes down. You're kind of like, yo, this is you're
And
like
to be
cheering,
fair, it wasn't necessarily
celebrating.
the best performance of goalkeeping that
Uh,
I've ever seen, because those PKs were bad.
no, I'm sure they were, bro. I don't doubt it at all. Like I don't doubt it. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, you have every right to be frustrated, furious, like whatever have you, whatever emotion you were feeling at that moment. You're playing the team like that, you know? It's kind of like if you play against Real Madrid and then you're playing with like your Sunday league team and then you win, you know, in a PK shootout. You're expecting Courtois to be like this badass goalie, and then you're just like, bro, like what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Like
No,
you'd
and I
be
get
upset.
the half human part, even though you just beat them, but it go and obviously whenever anything goes bad, because also mind you, the last two performances for Manchester United before this was a loss to Arsenal and then a draw against Fulham, I believe. Was a draw or a loss? It just wasn't a positive
Uh,
result. But I
it
mean,
wasn't.
so yeah, so going into this against Grimsby Town, which I mean, I'm sure everyone would say it's very safe to assume it's going to be a victory for Manchester United. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. Obviously, like every dog has his day, but this was a very easily lopsided performance. But very easily lopsided mismatch, right? Um, in all honesty, it should be Manchester United that has dominated the possession and just dominated the game. It did not happen to be that way, and I think
Well,
when
they. I'm sorry.
there's always there's two things that you always see when it comes to PKs. You have the team that's like, all right, anything's possible at this point, or funny enough, anything is possible, um, or crap, I can't believe we just got into penalties. So as usually, those are the two mindsets that have come into play here. And obviously, Manchester United is in the mindset of crap. We just let this game go to penalties.
And okay, going back to that to this Manchester United. So they played yesterday. They beat Burnley
Yeah,
3-2. But I'm looking at the stats. Check this out. Shots for Manchester United, 26. Shots for Burnley, 6. Shots on target for Manchester United. 6 out of 26 shots. 6. Burnley, 6 shots, 3 shots on target. So they had a way better percentage rate of shots on target. Possession, Manchester United, 62%, 38 to Burnley. Passes, 508 for Manchester United, 318 for Burnley. What does that tell you, bro? 7 corners for Man U, 1 corner for Burnley. 3-2 was the outcome. And mind you, the winning goal is a penalty on the 97th minute.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
And 1 goal was an own goal.
yeah. No, I did see that part. Yeah.
That's really frustrating. That's infuriating.
So,
yeah.
So and I want to get back here before you start going into full rage mode.
Yeah. Sorry.
The reality is like at this point, who is it? Who is at fault? Like who's to blame to this? Like people keep trying to say that it's Ruben Amorim. I'm standing still on what I said when we talked about the Premier League. Like I think at this point you just have to coast it. You gotta just see, like in some aspect, you kind of need to just see where everything falls in line. Because once again, I personally don't see who out there is like no one's gonna be able to fix this issue. Once again, I've said it. It's not a coach issue. It's an everything issue. Everyone's at fault when it comes to it. And I'll let you go off on your rant, but people are blaming Ruben Amorim and saying that the 3-4-3 formation isn't going to work. It's not effective. And it might not be, but at the same time, like Ruben Amorim, his job is to get these guys prepared and understand what their role are in this formation, a formation that clearly they just don't seem to comprehend too much on. But at the end of the day, it is the players that make the decision, have to trust their instincts and have to do what they can to make the best out of the situation. Now, do I feel that they're really buying in on the 3-4-3 formation? Probably not. I really don't see it, and to me, I think there's something wrong with this locker room. Like I'm just gonna say it. I think there's something completely wrong with this locker room. I think that the whole thing is, I think everybody's at fault to this point. I'm actually gonna give Ruben Amorim slightly less percentage of the blame because he came into this environment. The environment was already bad. It was bad with Ten Hag. It was bad with every other manager. Well, Ole seemed to be perfectly fine because he was using Cristiano Ronaldo. But like basically since Cristiano Ronaldo left, who seemed to have been like the most efficient player from this risk.
Well, and the thing is, Cristiano Ronaldo did play with Ole Gunnar like for a little bit. It wasn't like a massive amount, but he did play with him for a little bit.
Then he went to Ten Hag, and Ten Hag didn't like him because he didn't press, which I mean is a fair point. But at this point, I think that whatever the issues are with Manchester United, it's been going on for a lot longer before Ruben Amorim, before Ten Hag, before Ole Gunnar, before Van Gaal, going all the way back.
Dude,
like they just haven't been able to recover from Sir Alex Ferguson. Like he was the culture of that club, and as soon as he walked away, it just disappeared. Whatever culture that club had left, and there's nobody that's trying to keep everybody in line. And I think that's really, it is a core issue. It is not a coach issue. It's not it is also a player issue, and it's at this point it's the ownership's fault that they have let this just slide. And I know Ineos just barely bought Manchester United, but their job is to figure out what the problem is with this club, and they got to figure it out soon because this team looks like they can get relegated.
Yep. And you imagine getting relegated, being a big name club, you're gonna end up being like Newcastle. Like they were in the League Two,
or I think they spent like what 150 mil this season alone, this offseason.
Yep. So, they're gonna be in debt.
I mean, they've been trying to get rid of Onana. I believe they're once again trying to talk with Aston Villa to get Debu, which. Is that an upgrade? Probably. I mean, obviously, I got to say something nice about Debu because I'd risk it all for that man. But, like, is he better than Onana? I mean, I would say yes. But Is that going to solve all the issues with this Manchester United team?
No,
Probably
it's
not.
not.
Because also we've seen what he can do with a terrible backline, and
Yeah,
it does not equate to good things. So I mean, like you're going to need more than just a good goalkeeper. You need more than just the backline needs to get fixed because you're letting you're talking about Burnley. 6 shots, three on target, and 2 goals.
that's yeah. The goal
Like
conversion is actually there,
Like
but
there's some sloppiness in the back line, and maybe they're not ready for a back three. But I think that's where I would blame Ruben Amorim. If this team is clearly not ready for the formation, prime example, Xabi Alonso is a three in the back guy. Like he does a 3-4-3 formation as well, but he hasn't. He switched to a 4-3-3 with Real Madrid because he realized that this team is not capable of having a three in the back formation. Maybe
exactly.
maybe in the future, maybe when he has more time with the team, maybe he'll go to that 3-4-3 formation. But right now, he needs to work with what he has. So for Ruben Amorim, he needs to start working with what he has, and I will put that blame on him for that part. But at the end of the day, the players need to understand their role and trust their instincts, and at the end, that's what a manager should be able to tell players like, hey, like I understand that this is what the tactics are and this is what we're gonna do. But if you see your opportunity, trust your instincts. Just go out there, do what you do best at, and if it gets us a result, great. I'm not gonna get mad at you. Like I won't be mad if you doing your thing either led us to a good. I won't like. Oh, let me rephrase. I won't get mad if what you did caused a positive result, even if it's going
And
against what my tactics are.
I have something to say on that note. When going back to the Xabi Alonso deal, how he went, he was like, okay, this team's not three back line, so I'm gonna do a 4-3-3. That's one thing, and this goes for
So how do you feel
everything.
about
No,
the
no,
3-4-3? Like just out of curiosity.
I don't like it.
Okay.
But let me get to the point. Go back to basics. Just like whenever you're starting something new and you don't understand what's going on, what do you do when it's your job? What do? You ask questions. You want to find out what's the deal. You have a team around you. You have to ask questions. Be like, look, guys, this 3-4-3 formation is not working. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should go back to four? Do you think we should go back to 4-4-2? Do you think we should go back to 4-3-3? Like, what's like, what can we do to help these guys? And then talk to the team too, man. Like, you have a mouth, use it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about you're gonna do what I say, how I say you're gonna do it, whatever. No. And it's also not, well, whatever you think is best, we're gonna go ahead and do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do on the field. We're gonna work with what that we have that. No. Set the fucking standard. You're like, all right, we're gonna go back to basics. We have to go back to basics because we're literally playing these small teams and they're whooping our ass. I was like, and the only help we get is an own goal. Like we have to rely on the other team to score on themselves in order to win. I was like, because if you think about it, without that own goal, it's a tie. Without that penalty, it's a tie. If anything, without the penalty and the own goal, 2-1, and you lose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gotta click in his head as a manager that maybe going back to basics would be the best thing. And it may be an old school fashion 4-4-2. Maybe he just needs to stick around for the 4-3-3. I know it's not ideal for the EPL, but if you have players who can work around with that, it doesn't have. And then the thing is also you don't have to focus a lot on the defense. If you feel that your defense is weak, well then fuck it, 4-3-3 defense wise. You got a center defensive mid, you got two center mids who will go run back, and then like fuck it, let the front line try to deal with most of it, and then have those two center mids go up and down as well, box to box. Have the center defensive mid stay right in the center of the field, and then go back to defend. Be a fifth center back
Mm-hmm.
when need be. It's not complicated especially, and I hate to be like this. It's not complicated when you have the caliber of players that you do have. Maybe those caliber of players don't work well with each other. They don't complement each other. Then maybe by having all those players that you think, oh, these guys worth this much money, this guy's worth this much money. It's like maybe you don't need all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whatever happened to coming out of the academy? What happened to like Paul Scholes? A player like Paul Scholes.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody like that, Michael Carrick, dude. Like they came from Manchester, and they stayed with Manchester. You don't have that right now at all. You don't have any players who are going to run down the line to the clock because they're representing Manchester. They're representing Sir Alex Ferguson. They're representing the team. It's just you got players who are okay, they're high caliber, cool. They can do this, okay, cool. They're worth this much, okay, cool. Like, no, it's not that way, man. Like, shit, maybe you have to go get an unknown. He might be just like a regular passer. He's nothing about fancy flick. He's not one to be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play. Bro, you got Garnacho wanting to leave to what loan to Chelsea. You
Yeah,
got
he's on Chelsea
fucking
now.
yeah, you got Marcus Rashford on loan to Barcelona for playtime. You got Mino trying to leave from loan. Bro, at this rate, it's like they're just not gonna have any of those players that they're supposed to be relying on. Jadon
Hmm.
Sancho, what happened to him? Dude, he was beasting at Dortmund. And when he went to Man City, I'm not going to say he was the best winger, but I mean, dude, he had serious competition.
I mean,
When he was,
even when he was loaned back to Dortmund, I mean,
yeah, he was still killing it. He was still doing good.
hmm
I'm not going to say he was like amazing, but he was doing good.
enough to go
And
to the Champions League final. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's like you're not utilizing the players that you have the right way. So you're diminishing their play time. You're diminishing their value
so
as a player, not just money wise.
how much percentage would you put on Ruben? How much of the blame would you put on Ruben Amorim?
It's all together. Like I feel like Amorim has to talk to the owners. Like he has to talk to the people, to the board. He has to be like, look, guys, like this isn't working. We can't just throw money at it and hope that everything's gonna play out right. It's not like you're not gonna get a player of you, dude. Honestly, right now, the way the team is playing, you can't get a player of Messi's caliber back when he was in Barcelona in like 2010. You're
Yeah,
not
it's definitely
it's not a player situation. You can't just get let's put it this. You can't just get Luis Suarez, Neymar, Messi, three players of that caliber, and then try to put them up at the front because you also have people in the back who need to collaborate to create the play. It can't just be, okay, three players, two players creating the plays on themselves. This isn't Sunday League where you got the people who have played semi-pro, who played professional maybe for a year, and because they did that and they got all the training, they got the skill, they can go ahead and overtake everybody.
hmm
No, it doesn't work that way because you are playing at the professional level.
hmm
So it has to be done together. It can't just be done like, well, I'm the coach, so everything it's on me. No, dude, it's on the players as well. Cristiano Ronaldo's right. Like it has to change the mentality of this, like the disciplinary of this, like everything just have to change in a positive way, not in a okay, we're gonna take away all this kind of stuff
when
just
when
because you
you
guys aren't winning.
when you look back at that interview with Piers Morgan, when Ronaldo said that these guys don't understand suffering.
Dude, it's true. It's not even about understanding suffering. Look, as a coach, and if you're a player's coach, if you're a player coach, you have to be willing to sit down and talk to your players. You have to be willing to talk to them. You can't just talk to them all together. You got to have a one-on-one with them and be like, hey, so what's the deal here? Like, it's not about Paul Pogba being a prima donna kind of stuff. And I understand he was really high on his own fumes, but dude, the dude could produce. Just you have to let him. You can't just put a chain around anybody. Like you can't. You have to let them produce. You have to if they're defensive, if they're going to be a bit rough, you kind of have to let them. You got to have that player. I mean, remember, didn't like Casemiro in Real Madrid. Dirty as fuck. Did not like him like that. He would always fuck up Messi. He would always fuck up anybody that he felt needed to get fucked up, just like Pepe. You need a player like that. We've
Hmm
said this. You need a dirty player. As much as I hate the playing dirty, but you do need one of those players like that. Casemiro in Manchester United, beast. Same thing, beast. He kept that consistency going. He kept that midfield going. But there's not nobody right now like that in Manchester United to keep it going to make sure that you're a box to box player. But if you feel that you need to go ahead and do a foul, you do a foul. If you feel that you need a hustle, you hustle. If you have a chance for a shot, you shoot it from outside of the box and actually aim for the goal, not just shoot it just because you're like, oh, I have a shot, I'm gonna take it and just shoot from the outside just because you're like, however it lands. No, man, like you gotta, it's gotta be done as a team effort. It can't just be like one player. It can't just be the coach. It can't just be the ownership. It's like the ownership took, like they took over because they understand, hey, this is something that we can work with. We can do something about this, and it's not just throwing money at it.
Hmm. No,
It's
yeah.
not an easy, quick rich scheme. It's like you have a fan base worldwide, and more importantly, it's like they've been around for so long, and they come from a legacy. Like George Best,
Hmm.
Alex Ferguson. I'm like, dude, like you
The
you
class of
have a
'92.
yeah yeah. So it's just you have a lot of these great talents that came out of there, and you're just not living up to that expectation. It's not even the hype, it's the expectation that you're supposed to have. And just because you have ownership and you're going to put like buku money into the players doesn't mean that they can work well together. Maybe it's like I said, they don't complement each other.
I think
To me,
from like an American aspect, obviously, it's man. I mean, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
yep.
When it comes to it, I mean, the ownership is just making these questionable decisions on the team.
Oh,
As a matter
dude,
of fact,
that trade.
recently traded away their best defensive player for honestly peanuts.
Yeah.
It was like for 2 first-round picks and for a 30-year-old defensive tackle. So like, which in hindsight, you should be getting the farm for a guy like Micah Parsons. Like this guy is he's a different level of beast. But uh, but yeah, I think a lot of the issues. It's funny because everyone's like, "What's the American version? What would be the American sport version of Manchester United?" And the Dallas Cowboys is always the first thing I think of because it's a fan base that has a lot of success, a lot of history of great success, great teams, great
Oh,
iconic players. Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith,
the coach, Tom Landry.
Tom Landry. Um, uh, yeah, the names go on and on.
The legacy is there.
Legacy's there, but the modern day of the team is just it's just not what it was once before. Now it's become and very similar like Manchester United because there's also a lot of Manchester United fans. And here in the U.S., there's a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans. Like you have Cowboys fans from freaking New York, like
Yeah.
that's how insane the reach is for the Dallas Cowboys. And I would assume not that I'm from England, I would assume it's probably very much the same with Manchester United. Especially when you think of the class of '92, just because of how popular that United team was. And I think that yeah, it is. It's rough, man. Like to see the way Manchester United is now. Like it's rough to see. Like I get the frustration of fans. Like I am honestly very impressed by you because like I can talk about how rough it is to be an Arsenal supporter. Like I never, besides the Invincibles, I haven't really had much other, which I wasn't even fully aware of the Invincibles when I became, because I wasn't really, I didn't know much about any club football at that time at that age, but like, so I didn't really know much about Arsenal's history until I just got into the whole depressing era. Whereas you, I mean, you came in with Manchester United with Cristiano Ronaldo, so like
hmm
you got to see that David Beckham.
Wayne
Well, not
Rooney,
David
David
Beckham.
Beckham,
Wayne Rooney, Neville. Before he was annoying us on television. Scholes, Carragher. No, no,
Carrick,
Carrick. Yeah, not Carragher. Carrick. Obviously Van der
Edwin van der
Sar,
Sar,
Rio
um,
Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand, man. Oh man,
Um,
that's the name drop right there.
Berbatov, super
Berbatov, when
underrated. I
dude,
never got his flowers.
the touch that dude has, even now at his age, killer. Like,
I don't think we get enough flowers to Berbatov. By the way,
I mean, dude, honestly, it's just
Jinsun
he's
Park.
Jinsun Park. what you call it.
Tevez, even though he kind of betrayed you guys, but still Tevez was very worldly.
Alexis Sanchez, you know what? He may have been like world-class player, even though he didn't perform to what I was expecting him to perform when he went to Man U. But he added to the formula. He wasn't great, but he added to the formula. He wasn't like a superstar like everybody was thinking.
That piece of shit Van Persie.
Oh, dude,
Sorry for
when
cussing,
Van,
cousin.
yeah, he does not. Yeah, he considers him a traitor and forever will be a traitor in Hector's eyes. But dude, yeah, he's a beast. Like he was that
He's
number
the he's
nine
the
that
Flying
they
Dutchman.
were.
He's the
Yeah,
Flying Dutchman, man. Like Jesus Christ. But anyways, but I mean, at this point, like, what do you do? What do you feel is the solution, or at least what should be going on right now at Manchester United? Like, is it time to sack Amorim? Do you feel
dude,
like
if
do you feel like we're at this point now?
I do, sadly,
Who
like
who do you bring
okay,
in?
well, that's the thing. Let me put it this way. Like I said, not to sack him. I feel that it needs to be a meeting with the owners, the board, the coach. It needs to be a meeting. He needs to talk to them, let him know that just throwing money around, let him work his way. Because for all we know, he's restricted in a certain type of way. Not money wise, apparently, because they're just spending and spending and spending. The thing is, I think he's trying to find a formula that will work with what he has, and he hasn't found it. And I don't think he's gonna find it by doing whatever the hell he's doing, you know?
Absolutely.
And so I feel like he just needs, like I said, go back to basics. Try the basics. I mean, it's hard to do so, especially like with the players, like I said, of that caliber that you're spending. And you got right now, you have young talent. You can mold it. You can mold the young talent. You don't have to rely on okay, you got to do it this type of way. You got to do. Sometimes you got to let them unleash, man. Sometimes you just got to let them. You can't just zone them. You can't just chain them to a zone. You can't just chain them to a position and then
Mm-hmm.
there you go. That's it. That's what you're gonna play at.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. How many times did we say fucking Zlatan Ibrahimovic go back, even though we know he's not the type of guy to be like, well, I'm gonna go back and chase. When he lost the ball, he'd go back and chase. Whether he caused a foul or not, he would still do it.
Yeah, I think I think there needs to be something needs to be addressed. Like I don't know about firing anybody. Like once again, I think at this point you need to write it out. Which I know is the dumbest thing I could possibly say. But because who's out there? Who is out there that's enticing enough that can fix this? And I don't think that there's anybody out there that can fix it. There's names. There's probably some sexy names out there, but like I once again, I just don't think it's a coach issue. I think that there is very much like a massive core problem in right now in Manchester United that I just don't think a new manager is going to fix because they've been trying to change managers and it hasn't worked. They even tried to bring back Cristiano Ronaldo and they destroyed that miserably. So like I just
No, and
don't.
and and here's the thing too. Not every manager can work with certain type of players. You can't just give the manager, okay, this is the players that you're working with. Oh, I can't work with this, but I'll give him my best and stuff like that. If if need be, you might have to bench this crucial player, this important player, and then let him know, hey man, this is not a punishment. This is not like I'm trying some things out. Like let me try some things out. I'm trying to give this kid playtime. I'm trying to give this person playtime, but I'm also trying to get you into the core of the team. Like
Mhm.
I'm just trying to see what my best options is.
But
And
yeah,
it's just, dude, I haven't seen any Manchester United training videos like I have seen from Real Madrid, Barca, Arsenal, Bayern Munich.
oh,
Like I haven't seen.
do you feel like they're keeping it inside because they don't want to? They feel like there's something wrong with the training sessions.
That's what I'm saying. Like I haven't seen no, and what I'm saying is I haven't seen those training videos where they're like doing the hardcore training, but then they also have the fun, the
So
little
so
just
you're
playing
saying
around.
like So, for
Like I
instance,
feel I
a
feel the
Vincent
team.
Kompany going off on a player when he was at Burnley.
Yeah,
Like you haven't seen a video like that showing like
I haven't se-
companies like expectation and standard.
I haven't seen, dude. I haven't seen a video of like Xabi Alonso's when he was at Leverkusen, and where he was like passe, toque, and then all of a sudden the dude just shoots it over the midfield to the striker. He's like, no, that is not how you do it. That is not how you do it. He grabs the ball. He's like, you do this, you pass it back. You do this. If you feel that there's no, you pass. I was like, dude, I haven't
Bro,
seen shit,
you don't even get a Luis Enrique clip like the Luis Enrique
bro.
telling Mbappe that he's no Michael Jordan. Like
Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. Sometimes you have to humble the players. You have to humble the
mhm.
players. You can't just, and I haven't seen that. Like, I want to say,
So you
I want to
would
say
you
Ruben, I want to say Ruben is still there. He's still there, but he's barely hanging on by a thread. And I think he's like that kid who's like, you don't want to talk to the big kids because you feel like the big kids are gonna scold you. You feel like they're gonna like that's the vibe I get from
mhm.
him when I see him just kind of sitting down and just looking, and I'm
No,
just like,
I agree. I think with him with Ruben, the only thing I need to see him do is essentially is grow a pair.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon Jerky.
Because this isn't sporting. Sporting is like I think a lot different because it's a lot of younger players. It's a lot of guys that are still like in the developing stages. Whereas in Manchester United, it's a big club, and I think the big club brings in a certain arrogance to certain players. I love how people. I don't want to get Barcelona and Real Madrid involved here, but like people that like hate on Real Madrid and saying that like, oh, that they're so snobby, and I'm like. You do realize Barcelona's like the second biggest, like one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like they have probably the
yeah,
same exact mentality as Real Madrid. Like,
yep,
like when we talk about standard, Barcelona also has a standard. So like, but which is what my point is being with like Manchester United, even though the standard has definitely gone away, there's
hmm
still at least a mentality like you're a Red Devil. You're supposed to, come with this certain
like with some. I want to say some courage. I
some
want to say
courage,
some
some
fire
grit,
and
some pride.
yeah,
Like
like
they're sure supposed to mean something to you.
and then even then I haven't seen those videos where they're like, they're like, oh, testing out the coach. You know what I mean? Like they're like,
Hmm.
hey coach, like, come throw us the passes. Okay, like again, perfect example. Xavi Alonso. Okay, I'm gonna do the pass over there. Grass cutter, another one, grass cutter, another one, grass cutter. Dude,
Hmm.
like it was just for fun, you know? Same thing with Luis
Exactly.
Enrique. Luis Enrique becomes part of like the circle of like keep away, you know?
Hmm.
He becomes part of the circle, keep away. Pep Guardiola, part of the circle, keep away. He makes games up. He's like, okay, guys, okay, we did good training, whatever. Now we're gonna go ahead and do this. Like we're gonna go ahead and run to the pole, put the little ring on the pole, come back with the ball, do this stuff like that. Like have fun with it. I feel like Ruben is still working with that structure of like, okay, nothing's working. I still got to keep it firm. I still got to just go with the plan that I have here in this book. I'm like, dude, like I said, sometimes back to basics works best. Like
Hmm.
it may be a long shot, but I feel like
But
that
you're
would
willing to do it.
help.
You're willing
I,
to
I
try it.
I'm willing to try it. Dude, how many times? Okay, think about it. Let's put this in video game mode. FIFA. How many times do we not go play with an EPL team, a Serie A team, La Liga team, and somehow we always trying to find a combination, and then we end up 4-3-3ing it because it's the combination we know. It's the
Yeah.
combination we know works for us.
Hmm.
Now, for Ruben, with the players that he has, may not work. With his defensive three, it may not work. So
Hmm.
he has to change it up, maybe to four.
Mhm.
Hell, he could even go 5 defenders if he feels that the defense is lacking. And then just up top is just a little bit more focus on the wing play counterattack. I don't know. But tiki taka, it could be something new. It's stoppable, but you have to have the players who are able to play that form of style.
I think
Everything.
great example, honestly, is Hansi Flick.
Oh, exactly.
I think Hansi, like, is it tiki taka? Not really,
It's a modernized
but
version
it's a
of tiki
modernized
taka
version.
because it's like you're doing the small passing,
He has like
but you're also
he has a modernized tiki taka, but he also instilled to them, y'all gonna
the
play defense.
that German mentality of pressing.
Yeah. So I think there's clear levels to it. It has been done. But just to wrap it up in a pretty little bow for you, man. Like I think obviously you've said everything that you wanted to get back to it, but any last thing that you want to just get out?
I mean,
Manchester United.
like to be clear, I don't want to get rid of Ruben just yet. Give him a shot, a clean shot. Just like I said, back to basics. If somehow this gets to his ears, back to basics, man.
How tight is that leash right now for you?
Uh, that's the thing. He has to talk to the board. He has to
Well, I
talk
mean,
to them and be like,
in your view, because this was the first question that we asked when we talked about the Premier League. How tight is that leash?
like I said, money wise, I don't think it's that tight. But maybe maybe strategy wise, they're keeping him on a tight leash. Maybe they are. Maybe because they're I mean, usually it's the other way around, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
usually they'll say money is tight. Do what you can with what you have right now. But right, I feel like it's the other way around. Right now he's just trying to find the formula. I mean, think about it. Ten Hag, the first season, he was trying to find the formula. He was trying to change formations. He was trying to change players around. He was doing all that he could. Now, I'm not saying Ten Hag is ideal for Manchester United because clearly he was not.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a strict disciplinarian. He tried to instill, that's the thing. He tried to instill that Netherlands mentality of discipline. But I feel like they need a little bit more, but also give him free reign, give the players free reign, give the coach a free reign to try to work with what he has. Now, saying that, Manchester United is a big club. It's not like you're going into a small club that just got promoted to the EPL and you're okay, cool. I got these good players, whatever. Let me work with what I have. It's gonna be my first season. I'm gonna try my best kind of stuff. Right now you're under the knife. You're on the chopping block. And I think this season will decide whether or not he will stay. And right now, the way it's starting off is not looking too well. I don't want him to get sacked in the middle of the season because that's happened too many times where the coaches have been getting sacked right in the middle.
Yeah,
You know what
at this
this
point,
you know
you had this dance too many times at this point.
you know what this reminds me of? When Real Madrid, when they had the Galacticos, and after slowly but surely all the Galacticos started leaving and everything, they also started switching coaches. They started going through coaches, through coaches, through coaches until they got the Italian
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, like he made it work. He managed to make it work. And the thing is, it's like in the middle of the season, changing coaches in the middle of the season and trying to get it basically back up to the table. Dude, that's like near impossible. Like to the point where I feel like if Ruben got sacked and somehow Pep became available and they got Pep, even I would feel like Pep wouldn't be able to get Manchester up on the top of the table in half of the season. He would just be basically working as okay, this is just going to be a building, a building half a season, and then work through the summer and see how it comes out
Yeah, Fabio
again.
Capello, by the way, was the Italian name.
Fabio Capello. There you go. Yeah. That dude, shit, maybe they might need to bring him out of retirement and go to Manchester United, goddamn.
Bro, I think that guy's like definitely not. How old is this guy? Let me see. Fabio
Oh, he's
Capello,
old. He was
79
already
years old.
He's
79.
he was already old when he was coaching what was it
England.
England. Yeah, he was already old. But
I mean, he's the guy that brought Beckham. Beckham
no, and then
to
and that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to have that sort of relationship with the players. I'm not saying that Ruben doesn't have that. We don't know that from what we see in all the publications and everything. But he also doesn't. I don't see that fire in him. I don't see
Mhm.
that. I'm gonna sit you down, son. I don't know if it's because he's young. I don't know if it's because like he's not considered. He's literally the dude looks like he can still play on the field.
I think for him, I think the only thing is just I don't know if he was ready for I don't think anybody's ready for the Manchester United job, to be honest with you. But like I don't know. I think he did really good with Sporting. I think for me, what would have been better for him, at least decision. I mean, you get the opportunity to coach Manchester United, regardless of what the current state is. It's still a big deal. Like the name is still a big deal, Manchester United.
Yeah, Manchester
So
United.
I don't blame the guy for taking the job, but I mean, this guy, I feel like from Sporting, he just needed to go into a place that's not a massive dumpster fire, in my opinion. And no offense, Edward, but
None taken, because I mean, you're right. I hate to say it, but you are correct on that scenario. Like it's not doing any good right now. So I'm hoping the next game I see like a very basic formation, nothing with like a diamond, nothing with like okay, we're gonna have like three defenders and then we're gonna have like four midfielders and then like a false nine kind of shit. Like just stick to basics because all these players for sure know the basic formations and they know how to work it.
yeah, exactly. But all right, guys, we're gonna take a break and then we'll go right into the U.S. men's national team September call-up.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, guys, it is the international break, and we're gonna talk about the U.S. men's national team because unfortunately we have to talk about the U.S. men's national team. So, because we're American. So they have two friendlies coming up this weekend. We have September 6th against South Korea, to be specific, the Republic of Korea, in Harrison, New Jersey, and then September 9th, which is that's August, which is a Tuesday. Tuesday in Columbus, Ohio, they'll be taking on Japan. If anybody is a Street Fighter. Also, fun fact: I'm September 6th. I'm doing a 5K, so I may or may not be dead. By the time this episode drops, I may or may not be dead. Okay, so actually no, because this is going into the weekend, so I'm still alive. But we'll find out next week if I'm alive. But yeah, so the roster has been quite a head scratcher. But we'll go ahead and tell you guys the roster. So the 23-man roster is initially they dropped a 22-man roster, but then they added the 23rd player later, and I will point out who that player is once we get there. But obviously, guys, if you guys watch the video version of this podcast, it's literally to the side of me and Edward. But for the podcast, the audio version, we'll go ahead and say the names. So for goalkeepers, we'll start things out with the goalkeepers. We have Roman Celentano from FC Cincinnati. We got Matt Fries from the New York City FC. And son of Jurgen Klinsmann, Jonathan Klinsmann from the second division Cesena in Italy, getting his first call-up with the U.S. men's national team. No Matt Turner. And I think, at least I'm assuming the logic is because he just got loaned out to New England Revolution. So if you guys don't know, Matt Turner had a transfer to Olympic Lyon. Olympic Lyon currently is not capable of buying any players right now because of their financial situation. So what they ended up doing, they did technically buy Matt Turner, but they loaned him out to New England Revolution so they can be good in the books, if that makes any sense. But since he's in a new team, I'm assuming the logic behind Mauricio Pochettino, if I could ever understand the logic of Mauricio Pochettino, is he's in a new team. He wants him to get adjusted to the new team. Aside from that, I don't understand why you don't call up Ethan Horvath, who actually has been doing pretty well over at Cardiff. I believe that's where he's at right now. And then I think Schulte is still injured, so that's why he's not getting called up. But I think it's safe to say with Matt Freese, he obviously was the goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team during the Gold Cup. I would argue did fairly well. I don't know if you have any issues with Matt Freese, Edward, but I think from the Gold Cup standpoint, I think he did a fairly good job for the U.S. So I think giving him another look in this go around, especially when you're not sure what you're not really sure about the goalkeeper position in general. I think it's a fair shout to give him another look at him.
No, you're right. You're right.
Goalkeeper's wide open, by the way. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Basically, it's up for grabs. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's a safe bet for Matt Turner. So if anybody can get consistent minutes, I mean, you're probably gonna be my goalkeeper in my eyes. So just get consistent minutes. That's the only standard. Defenders, we got Max Arfsten from the Columbus Crew, Noah Kai Banks from FC Augsburg, Tristan Blackman for some weird reason from the Vancouver Whitecaps, Sergino Dest from PSV Eindhoven making his return. Hasn't played for the U.S. men's national team since he tore his ACL, so happy to see him back with the U.S. men's national team. Alex Freeman of Orlando City. I believe there's some potential Europe rumors for him as well. So, also another player that did fairly well for themselves in the Gold Cup. Nathaniel Harrell from the Philadelphia Union for some weird reason. Tim Ream from Charlotte FC. I love him. And Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. Obviously, defenders, Edward's not going to really talk much about. And Edward's going to have a very hilarious statement to say once we say all the names on this team. But, Max Arfsten, a left back that apparently, but is actually a winger at Columbus Crew. Don't understand the transition from there for him. Attacking wise, I think he does benefit why we would call him to the U.S. men's national team. Defensively, obviously he's a winger. So
yeah,
let that sink in.
Well, I feel like, whenever they require left backs, like they feel like the spot isn't like filled up, they'll go ahead and call a winger to fill it.
I'm not against Arfsten.
If he's an aggressive, like let's say left winger, like if he's an aggressive attacker, then more than likely he would be a pretty good left back or left wing back. Like
yeah,
help
definitely
with the attack,
more of a wing back. I would definitely agree to that. Which I mean, once again, I have no because like prime example in the Gold Cup, I think Arfsten gave up a dumb goal. But then he responded well by, I think, either scoring a goal or providing an assist. I forgot. He did something good after he responded well, which clearly Pochettino recognizes, and that's why he's here. Which is I'm perfectly fine with. Noah Kai Banks, I'm really intrigued by him. He is one of those like dual nationals, German American. So hopefully we can lock him in. Tristan Blackman is a complete head scratcher. Dude's 29 years old, hasn't been called up at the U.S. men's national team, and I totally get why. But now he's here. Nathan Harriel makes absolutely no sense to me because the only time he played for the U.S. was in the Gold Cup where he got beat. Yeah, and I believe it was our first opponent, which I believe was Haiti. So, and immediately after that, they scratched him. He hadn't played since, so I have no idea why he's here. So, and then obviously Chris Richards, which I would argue is probably our best center back right now. So, yeah, it's weird. There is some names. I'll mention them later, but yeah, I just think it's kind of weird right now for defenders. But I think there's clearly a starting lineup here. I'm not saying that that the team is terrible. There is definitely a starting lineup in there somewhere in this roster. Midfielders. This is where Edward could probably be a little bit more opinionated. Tyler Adams from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Son of Greg. Oh, what?
No, I was gonna say. I was like, he's good. He's good.
Son of Greg Berhalter, Sebastian Berhalter from the Vancouver Whitecaps, who is a very important player to the Vancouver Whitecaps, which are doing really well right now in MLS. Did have some good moments in the Gold Cup. I think that's the reason why he is getting called up again. So just point that out. Luca De La Torre from San Diego FC, a player that I generally do like, but I will be honest with you, wasn't great in the Gold Cup. But, I mean, I think what he provides as a midfielder is good for depth, and at least I'll say that. Our dog, Diego Luna.
Yeah.
who was just quiet in the final, which I don't blame him. Hey, if you're good vast majority of the competition, but you're quiet in the final, yeah, it's unfortunate. But at the same time, like,
you help bring him there. Yeah.
There's another, like, there's 10 other players on the field that could probably help. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes your best player isn't always going to be. I mean, look, Messi doesn't always have great. That's a fucking lie.
I mean, you're not lying. He's had moments where he didn't have a good game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's when the rest of your team steps up. That's when you have an Andres Iniesta and Xavi Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jack McGlynn from the Houston Dynamo, who only scores bangers. I love that kid. He's definitely leaving. He's definitely leaving the club. Sean Zawodowski for some weird reason. Don't know why, but all right, he's there. So that's the midfielders. Forwards, we have Damian Downs from Southampton, another German American player. Fairly quiet in the Gold Cup, but also don't think he was given fair enough minutes. So that's my defense for him. I'm still very high on Damian Downs. Christian Pulisic from AC Milan. Is
he 100%?
Should be. I hope so. I definitely hope so at this point. So obviously, I've said a lot of things about Christian Pulisic. I do stand by it. I do still believe in Christian Pulisic. I am a supporter of Christian Pulisic. That doesn't mean I'm still going to critique him when I do feel a critique is needed. Josh Sargent from Norwich, who is hot right now. Hot. I think he's like 6 goals in 3 matches.
Nice.
So, and yes, it's a championship, but you know what? The championship is not easy.
It's not. It's very rugged. It's very, it's physical.
Everybody criticized him because he had an opportunity to return to Werder Bremen, and he said, nah, I'm staying here with Norwich, which he's the captain of, by the way.
Well, that's why.
So
he's got a majority.
Very captain-y of him.
Bearing captain-y.
My adopted son, Tim Weah, Marseille, who is currently loaned out at Marseille, where his father played at, George Weah. Only African to win the Ballon d'Or. So Tim Weah's back. Alex Zendejas of Club America, which I wish you would have called him up for the Gold Cup because he was very much in fuego when the last season for America. I mean, he's still doing very well. He did get an assist this past weekend, so there is that. And the last addition to the 23-man roster, which was Folarin Balogun from Monaco. I guess maybe there was some possibility that he wasn't going to be available for the call up, but now he is being called up, which we'll see what happens with the 9th spot. I mean, I guess that's the first question. I mean, you got Josh Sargent, who's definitely coming in hot this season. Doesn't tend to score with the U.S. men's national team, but on the flip side, you have Folarin Balogun, who I don't know what his form is like right now in Monaco. I haven't really gotten much statistics from him. By the way, guys, I follow these players all on FUTMob, so I get at least notifications if they perform well or if they perform poorly. And obviously, Josh Sargent, once again, like I said, is in fuego right now. Balogun feel like kind of quiet a little bit, in my opinion, but I would rate him a better 9 right now for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. But what do you do there, Edward? Like, do you take with the guy that you kind of had more positive results from, or do you take the guy that's in form?
I mean, truthfully speaking, I'll take both. One's going to be a bench player. One's going to be
4-4-2.
A little 4-4-2.
Probably not going to happen. But
nah, I mean, but like I said, I'll probably take both of them, but just one will have to
start over. The thing with me with Josh Sargent, I love Josh Sargent, by the way. I don't want anyone to think I don't love Josh Sargent. The only thing is, even when he plays well at the club level, he just, for some reason, as soon as he puts on that USA shirt, he's just quiet. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's something with the tactics that doesn't work for him here or what. He just gets quiet. I mean, he gets dogged on a lot when he plays against the Central American teams. But Balogun on the other side, I feel like he has more of a physicality.
Like a Josie Altidore?
Definitely not size-wise, but mentally he's definitely there. And obviously, once again, he's had scored goals, whereas Josh Sargent has been fairly quiet on that part. I'd say, and it's unfair because they both have 5 goals on their tally for the U.S. But I don't know, man. I mean, right now I want to pick Josh Sargent. I want to pick him right now just because of the fact that he's just good right now. Like,
Yeah.
Once again, I believe I could be completely wrong, but 6 goals in 3 matches. That's amazing. So, like, I hope that it can finally correlate, but, I mean, we'll see, because at the same time, I have no idea what Pochettino's doing.
Yeah.
That's really
and that's the thing, is like, we talked about this before. Like, it's his first tournament, his first deal with the US, with the friendly that he had before the Gold Cup. It was
with Turkey and Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, he was just still trying to find out what the hell's going on, like who to call up.
And so obviously we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room, the unnecessary drama that has been brought into the U.S. men's national team, the whole spoiled player. I did air quotes, by the way, people. The whole thing about these players are spoiled, they're bratty. Look. I said what I said about Christian Pulisic and that godforsaken stupid documentary that he's doing. I will once again it probably wasn't Christian Pulisic's fault, but at least the people at Paramount definitely made him look like a brat. That's all I'm saying. Because the way he was look, if you're gonna be an athlete, if you're gonna be any sort of public figure, you're going to be criticized. People are either gonna like you or hate you.
Yeah.
Not many in between, but to do a specific episode in your docuseries, one, you already got flamed for the whole saying that there's like a bias between Americans and Europe. This docuseries, I honestly say, has provided no benefit to Christian Pulisic, especially when I do believe a lot of the people outside of U.S. soccer supporters feel like we overly hype Christian Pulisic. And I think maybe doing a documentary series on Christian Pulisic is probably not going to help with that argument any further.
It's not.
I will just to be clear, Christian Pulisic is in fact the best player in the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, not captain, but just the best player.
He's definitely the best player, and I could argue I would definitely put him over Landon Donovan. But to be fair, I put anything over Landon Donovan. So let that sink in. But obviously, that whole clip really pissed off a lot of people, called them soft. I don't know why Tim Weah had to go ahead and call the media evil. I thought that was just borderline. But yeah, that happened. But anyway,
insert Mermaid Man evil here.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're definitely gonna do that. But and then on top of that, just the outrage that happened because the whole criticism came from the whole fact that a lot of these American players opted out of the Gold Cup. Now, Tim Weah, any guys that was competing in the FIFA Club World Cup obviously got the ultimate hall pass because they're playing in the FIFA Club World Cup. Like, why would you choose the Gold Cup over that? Or your club is definitely not gonna let you go.
Yeah. Especially if you're essential, like if you're one of their crucial players, they're not gonna.
But Christian Pulisic obviously opted out because he was trying to recover from the season. Like I said, I wasn't sure if he had any injuries, but it's Christian Pulisic, so it's also kind of safe to assume
injury prone,
some sort of injury. Balogun, he did get called up, but he ended up stepping out, and I'm perfectly fine with that because he was also dealing with an injury as well. Sergino Dest was also called up, but he also stepped out to continue his recovery from his ACL tear. So some guys had like legitimate excuses. Musa was trying to figure out if he was even going to be at AC Milan. Turns out he is going to be at AC Milan. All right, my bad. So a little update. So while we were recording it, we weren't entirely sure whether or not Yunus Musa would get the move to Atalanta. It is official now. Yunus Musa is going to Atalanta. It's going to be a loan with an option to buy. It is official from Fabrizio Romano. So yeah, that was an interesting chain of events. I thought it wasn't going to happen, but clearly I was wrong. So there you go. Quick update. he's going to Atalanta, so I guess I can get my Yunus Musa Atalanta jersey. So we'll see how all that transpires. But yes, it is happening. The move has happened. Fabrizio Romano has made it official. Yunus Musa is going to Atalanta. So there's that. So yeah, my bad. Because they're lacking in depth, so he can't go to his move to Atalanta has been on hold, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to get an Atalanta kid. So because those kids are nice. But yeah, a lot of players ended up opting out. People were questioning the commitment they have to the U.S. men's national team, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, Landon Donovan tried to compare him to Cristiano Ronaldo playing in the Nations League final, which I think that's very much apples and oranges. Actually, not even apples and oranges. That's like apples and Brussels sprouts at that point.
Oh.
So, like, it's a completely whole different level. And I'm not saying that Christian Pulisic is Brussels sprouts. I'm saying the Gold Cup is Brussels sprouts. As much as I love the Gold Cup, it's compare. And I know the Nations League people feel a certain way. That's why I said it was oranges or apples. I forgot which fruit I picked. But anyways, I thought that was kind of a reach of a take. One, I think that there's a different level of pride when you're talking about representing Portugal, France, anywhere.
Like World Cup winners, you mean?
Yeah. Like, I think that's Portugal's definitely a World Cup winner.
Yeah, but I mean, prospects, you know.
And once again, there's just a cultural identity with those national teams.
Yeah,
it's an embodiment of the nation. Like, it's not just So let's be honest.
Is
like,
that an intended pun on the Nations League?
Yeah, but obviously, Nations League is probably not the most like, oh my God, we won this tournament, thing. Because obviously a lot of people take it with a grain of salt for Nations League, however you feel about Nations League, but no one seems to care about it unless you're in the final. So
yeah,
and then all of a sudden, it matters now. But yeah, and Gold Cup, like I said, if I were to rank all the continental tournaments that are featured in FIFA, probably not breaking the top 3.
yeah.
I mean, World Cup's number 1. I don't think anybody's going to argue that one.
No.
Euro, Copa America. So that's the top 3. Actually, I'll do Copa America then Euro, but that's just because Copa America is it's fun, and very physical, a lot of violence. So maybe that's the reason why I like it. Anyways, it's apples and oranges. Anyway, the whole thing is obviously all this unnecessary drama that was given to the team. People asking Mauricio Pochettino of his thoughts of what Pulisic said, blah blah blah, all this crap, right? Obviously Pochettino's already said it. We're moving forward. We're moving forward, and we're focusing on this. Clearly, he's moving forward because he called it Christian Pulisic. So, but Edward, just your thoughts overall on the unnecessary drama that was brought in for the U.S. men's national team.
I mean, it's like they're expecting too much out of the U.S. men's national team. They're expecting so much. And I had to be this guy, but they're not up there yet. So to be dealing with all this kind of crap, like they got basically now it's just time to play to prove themselves that, that drama, it doesn't do anything to them. That it's just, I don't know, man. Like personally, me, I'm like Christian Pulisic. Yes, like you said, best player of the U.S. national squad right now. I just, it's just, I'm like at a loss for words. Like I legit am. I'm just like, I'm not about the drama. Like I just want them to play and to play well, like for them to actually find that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, I have to go back and refer to the 2002 World Cup USA men's national team. I have to go back to that because that's when it was like nitty and gritty, but they also had some sort of flash. Right now, I can't even begin to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, new coach, bringing certain players in, not always the same ones. Their performance recently, has to speak for themselves. So now they just kind of have to push up. They have to go ahead and show up this time around, not like in the final.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's my thought process. Like I'm just like enough about the drama. Show me what you can do on the field. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah.
Yeah, I think I honestly I just want to go back to ball. Like I really don't give a rat's ass about this. Like I said, from what I said in last week's episode, like I just don't want Christian Pulisic to be responding anymore. Like I want him to just let his game do the talking.
Yeah.
Like
And
and honestly, it's gonna pay off for him because this is what's gonna happen. Like in these two friendlies against Japan and South Korea, if Christian Pulisic has a standout performance where, even in a losing effort, like if they show a valiant effort, which is really all that everyone's asking, is just to put out, like for instance, the Gold Cup final, they lost, but you would say in that context with the players that were available to the U.S., not bad, like, and so I think it's for Christian Pulisic, like if he comes in here and does really well against Japan, maybe creates a lot of opportunities, maybe even scores a few goals himself. And the Alexi Lawlesses, the Landon Donovans, the Tim Howards, and whoever has criticized Christian Pulisic is going to be like, yeah, he's Captain America. This is what he does. I guarantee you someone's going to say this. Like, I don't know who. Maybe Alexi Lawless. Probably is going to be Alexi Lawless. It's like, this is Captain America. This is what he does. Like somewhere along those lines, someone's going to say that if Christian Pulisic has a standout performance. Once again, I'm not going to guarantee a victory, but some sort of positive result. Maybe beat South Korea and then draw against Japan. I don't know. But if Christian Pulisic shows that he's clearly not the problem with the U.S. men's national team, they're going to go back to like Christian Pulisic's the man. Like that we, this is Captain America. This is our guy.
Yeah.
Someone's going to do that. Because once again, like as much as they're going to criticize, they're also going to flip the script when things are looking great. Like once again, that's what they get paid to do. Evo. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous. But let's go back to this roster. Let's ignore all the dumb things that has happened. But this roster, what do you like about this roster, Edward?
Personally, I like the fact that it's not just the same people over and over.
Okay.
Like it's not. For example, I know he's your dude, but Ricardo Pepi, he's not there.
Well, I think mainly just because now because he hasn't really been starting for PSV, but obviously he's still recovering from his injury. So I think that's the main reason why he wasn't called up. We don't see Malik Tillman. I think a lot of the guys that are either just came out of injury. I'm not talking about like Sergino Dest or Balogun, but like guys that just came out of injuries. Like I think if I'm putting my brain with Pochettino's brain, which I don't think that's even possible for me to do. But I think he's just like, I want to let them be with the club, get themselves back in shape and playing form, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm thinking. Same thing with Musa. Musa didn't get called up either. He's like, he was trying to figure out whether or not he's going to be going to a different club. Now he might be staying with AC Milan. So let him kind of trying to figure out his role for the club. Same thing for Malik Tillman just joined Bayer Leverkusen. So I think those factors came into play, which I know sounds very madly inconsistent because there's maybe some guy like Damian Downs just joined Southampton. But I also think that that's a little bit of a different scenario. I guess like exceptions to the rule, I guess. I don't know. But because I think the guys that are brought in, like I will say Damian Downs is probably like it makes sense to bring him in. You're not going to have you're not going to have Ricardo Pepi, but you could bring in Damian Downs, a guy that I'm just glad Ajiman's not here. But Ajiman just is with a new club now, so maybe he wants Ajiman to get adjusted to his new club in Derby County. So their logic is there for me. But like you said, I do like that there's some different names. I'm glad that we're seeing Alex Ndeja's back. He should have been there for the Gold Cup. I think that as far as depth-wise, I think he's a great guy to come off the bench and be crucial in the wings. So Uh, I think it was unfortunate that we ignored Zendeja's last season, especially because of how well he was contributing to Club America. Um, that's just my opinion on that one. So I'm happy he's with the U.S. men's national team right now.
Yeah.
Anything you dislike?
Hmm. No, I mean it's a pretty like it's a pretty open squad. Like I can't really say much. Like most of these players don't know. Um, I'm being real with you.
Yeah,
With everybody. But I mean,
that's gonna be
I just want to see what Pochettino can do. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be like, oh man, he sucks. He's a renowned manager. You know, he is world known. Um, the thing is, it's like, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. Let's see, and then maybe he'll give the players the confidence boost that they do need. That that scrappiness that
Mhm.
was missing in the final against Mexico.
I mean, obviously we got Christian Pulisic back, so that's a big up. Um, I think the thing that I just don't personally like about this roster, I'm fine with the goalkeepers. Like I said, it's a wide open job, so I think that's fine. Defensively, Tristan Blackman's 29 years old. Like, if he hasn't been called up, he hasn't been featured at any call up. Literally has no call ups. I just don't know what he brings to the table that you couldn't get from a Cameron Carter-Vickers, who's doing really well with Celtic, or even Austin Trusty, who's also doing well for Celtic. A Mark McKenzie, who is definitely not the reason why João Neves scored 3 goals. You know, but like, or maybe was partially to blame. But like, you have other center backs that I think are doing fairly well for themselves overseas, and I know that I know it's not. This isn't a Europe versus MLS thing, but like I'm just saying, like there's guys that are performing in their clubs. Specifically, I would point out Cameron Carter-Vickers just because he's kind of been more of a stable for Celtic recently. But like you're being to tell me you'd rather have him, Tristan Blackman, who I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He's definitely doing well with Vancouver. Vancouver once again is doing really good right now in MLS. But it's just like there's other center backs that I would much rather pick. And once again, we need to figure out who's going to be the guy next to Chris Richards come the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not going to be Tristan Blackman come 2026, come June. So that's one of my gripes, at least defensively. Nathan Harriel, another guy that I have an issue with. I from that one game, and maybe this was Pochettino's like, look, he had a bad game, but I want to give him another shot. Maybe he has some attribute that he likes about him. I don't know. I'm not Mauricio Pochettino, so benefit of the doubt for that one. Midfielders, I mean, besides Sean Zawodowski, because I mean, you don't bring up Brendan Aronson. You don't bring up even Paxton Aronson, who just moved to the Colorado Rapids. You know, you don't. I think there's other guys that you could pick over Sean Zawodowski, who only has one game, who's only played one game. So, but we'll see. We'll see what he has in mind. Forwards, I'm actually perfectly fine with the forwards. I don't think there's anything wrong with the forwards actually. I understand the Ricardo Pepi thing. So, I think with the September call-up, it's kind of tricky just because, once again, a lot of guys went to new clubs or guys are just recovering from injuries. So, like, I just don't think you can really expect a lot. So, the outrage that a lot of people have had with this call-up, I think is kind of ridiculous because of just we're not that far away from. I mean, literally, this episode is going to drop when it just barely became September. So, like, there's not much you can really do with some of the rosters. So I think that this is, for what is available to Pochettino, I think that this actually, it's not a terrible roster. I think people are over exaggerating saying that this is the world's worst roster. There's worse rosters. I mean, I can show you a terrible roster. The El Salvador team that got caught for fixing games.
Oh, jeez.
How do you get caught being bad?
I don't even want to. I don't even want to get back. I don't even want to. I
But
don't
all
even
right.
want to. Yeah.
Aside from the dislikes, what are misses for you? Like, what's a player that you're like, I kind of wish he was here?
I mean, to be honest, Tillman.
Oh yeah,
Tillman. Yeah.
yeah. Tillman was such a baller in the Gold Cup. Yeah, you have a good point. I would, especially seeing him and Diego Luna mix it up again. I think
Oh yeah.
that's a good shout. I would say one of the Aronson brothers. One of the Aronson
Oh
brothers.
yeah.
One of the Aronson brothers.
Brendan Anderson. Brendan
or
Anderson.
any of the center backs I mentioned. Like, I feel like those were misses. Like Cameron Carter-Vickers, he's not getting adjusted to Celtic. He's been adjusted to Celtic. So I think he would have been fine if we brought him in. But or even Austin Trusty, Mark McKenzie, any of those guys have been in those clubs. Like I believe McKenzie's now in his second year with Toulouse. So like these guys are already and they're staples in their clubs. So I think that was a big miss for me. I'll probably say the center backs are probably a bigger miss, but I would also say one of the Aronson brothers because maybe not Paxton because he just moved to Colorado, but Brendan Aronson has been at Leeds. So like, that's my kind of, unless there's like an injury that we don't have any idea of. That's aside from that, I would probably say that. But the last question, Edward, I have for you before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Obviously, Japan, South Korea, two really strong nations from the Asian region. How do you feel this roster? How do you feel this team could do against those teams?
I don't know, man. I think like the way that the Asians play, it's like a little bit more speedster, long balls. I think they should be able to keep up with them. They should be able to. And mind you, like I said, they should be able to. So yeah, that's a big that's a big want. If you understand what I mean. It's just yeah. I think it's I think they'll be able to play. They'll be able to play against them very well. Um, I'm not holding on to high hopes. Like I said, it's just Asian players. They're pretty speedy, fast, and they're scrappy. So if they're like, I'm not saying they're not dogs, but they're just scrappy. Like I feel like they don't have that dirty tackling mentality. Only when need be, like last player of the on the defense line, trying to stop the striker, the attacker, the winger, whatever. But I feel like US doesn't have that candle lit yet. Maybe this will help them light that candle, like that fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically what I'm getting at.
No, yeah, I think from like as I saw the Gold Cup go on, and once again, this is with very limited options for players, because obviously you didn't have necessarily all your best players available for that Gold Cup roster. But what I did see, and I don't know if you felt the same way, but I felt that the tactics that Pochettino has can work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that the way he approaches, the way the ball was, there was definitely a lot of moments where the game looked a lot very fluid, which I don't think I've ever said whenever Berhalter was in charge. So that as a matter of fact, it reminded me a lot with BJ Callahan, and I mean you ever and I remember that how beautifully they played with BJ Callahan as their coach, and I think it's definitely not that level yet because once again that was with like the actual U.S. men's national team roster versus the Gold Cup where we had guys that maybe could be considered fringe players for the team for come the World Cup. So I want to see what happens now when you put in Christian Pulisic, when you have Tim Weah, a Balogun, a Josh Sargent, when you have those guys, Sergino Dest, like when these guys are available to you, can those tactics be translated, if not better? So that's going to be where I think that I like compete. It depends what we define compete, right? I think getting some sort of positive result, whether it's a draw, I think will be good for them, especially against like the teams like Japan and South Korea who are really good at punching above their weight. Like I think that this is a good test for them. I don't think the rosters are terrible. Like there's definitely a starting lineup. I don't think that that's like blinding to anybody. That there is clearly a starting lineup for this team. So I think that we're gonna see. I'm just gonna be happy to see Sergino Dest back on the field. I'm happy to see Christian Pulisic back on the field, Tim Weah back on the field, and see how they get accustomed to the tactics. And now you're in a locker room full of guys that are very adjusted to those tactics. So like if Pulisic feels in any way lost in the sauce, which I hope he's not, you have a Diego Luna or an Alex Freeman who can kind of like, hey, yeah, this is what we've been doing, you know? Like, since you've been gone, this is actually what's been working for us.
Yeah.
And that could be infectious. And I think that that's a good thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, once again, guys, the games are going to be September 6th versus South Korea, September 9th versus Japan. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this roster. I don't think it was a terrible roster. I think 11 Yanks and tactical manager were maybe over exaggerating a little bit. I don't think not all the names are home runs. I'm not saying that, but also like, have you seen our talent pool? So like, I just want to point that out. But I do think that this is not going to be a terrible roster, and obviously we'll see how they fare against Japan and South Korea. I think those are going to be. It's a good test. They need to get challenged. I think that at the end of the day, you guys can say these are ambitious opponents, but at the same time, you kind of need to be ambitious. You got to go up against guys that are just going to beat the hell out of you, and see how you handle it. Right? I mean, once the greatest quote of all time by Mike Tyson: "Everybody's got a strategy till they get punched in the face." So this team needs to get punched in the face, and we're going to see how that fares for them. So I think that's where we need to see them get tested, and I think this is a good start for them.
Yeah, that's pretty much like I said, like I think this is what's gonna help like that fire back in there.
1,000%. But all right, guys, we'll go ahead and take a break, and then we'll go right into players of the week and games to watch.
Fight and win!
All right, guys, players of the week is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing ticketing site app, however you use it from, but it's a very simple process. This is how me and Edward get all our tickets to all live events, from concerts to live sports. This is where you get your fix from. The system is really easy. It has a grading scale using colors and numbers. If the number is really high and the color is super green, that means for these seats, for that price, for this event, you're getting a great deal. Go ahead and enjoy your event. Now, if it's super low and very red, that means whoever's trying to sell you those tickets for that event is not giving you a good deal. Keep scrolling. You're going to find a better deal. We love the simplicity of SeatGeek. We use it for a lot of the events that we go to. And if you're not sold just yet, if you use the code BellyUpSports for first-time users, you'll save $20 off your first purchase with certain limitations applied. But yes, use that code BellyUpSports, save yourself $20 off your first purchase. My player of the week is Harry Kane, who had 2 assists in Bayern Munich's 3-2 win against FC Augsburg. Back-to-back for Harry Kane, but solid performances, had to give that to him. And Edwards' player of the week is João Neves, who scored a hat-trick in PSG's 6-3 win against Toulouse, which all 3 goals were bangers. 2 bicycle kicks and 1 outside the box shot. Just a pure thing of beauty. Chef's kiss. João Neves, and the kid's young. He's going to be spectacular. I can't wait for him. PSG got a good one there. But yeah, so congratulations to Harry Kane and João Neves for being our players of the week. Once again, first-time users, if you guys use SeatGeek's code, BellyUpSports, our code, BellyUpSports, you'll save $20 off that first purchase. So go ahead and check them out. Thank you, SeatGeek, for being a great providing sponsor for BellyUpSports. All right, guys, we do have some games to watch this weekend. It is all international, but we also have some makeup games coming on for MLS. So Houston Dynamo versus LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy just coming off of a big win against Orlando for 3rd place in the Leagues Cup, because, that's important. And the Houston Dynamo coming off of a big 3-2 road win against St. Louis. So we'll see how that happens there in Houston against the LA Galaxy. We also got Chicago Fire versus New England Revolution. Should be an interesting one over there in the MLS. Now, international break. Thursday, Guatemala versus El Salvador. obviously I got some very much interest in this matchup, so we'll see how that pans out. We got Georgia versus Turkey, or Turkey, depending on how you pronounce it. The Netherlands versus Poland, Colombia versus Bolivia, Paraguay versus Ecuador, and Brazil versus Chile. On Friday, we got Denmark versus Scotland, Slovenia versus Sweden, and Ukraine versus France. So juicy one on that. Saturday, if I am alive from the 5K, we'll see if I'll be able to watch this. But USA versus South Korea, and then Mexico will be taking on Japan. So I'm guessing they'll be doing some flipping there with USA and Mexico. And then Sunday we got Turkey versus Spain. So really juicy matchup there. Arda Güler taking on was maybe not some of his teammates, but Arda Güler, we'll see what he could do against a very strong and prominent Spanish team. So we'll see how that all goes down. But obviously that's not all the games that are being played this weekend. But if you guys want a good beginner's guide, I think he gave you some good matches to look forward to. So we'll go ahead and take one more break and then we'll go ahead and take a break and then go right into 3 up, 3 down La Liga kids.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Kelcey from the High Low Sports Podcast. I am back again. That's right. You got once, you got me twice, you're getting me a third time. Don't worry, we might see you some more times here soon. We are talking La Liga. That's right, La Liga kids for 3 up and 3 down. I'm going to give you mine this year. You might be surprised by some of them. You might not be surprised by some of my other ones. So like always, I'm going to start from the bads. I'm going to work my way to the goods. So number 1 on the bad, the Osasuna away kit. I don't love this one. It is neon green and bright red. And I can't do it. These kits bother me beyond belief. When I look at them, I feel like my eyes are bugging out. And I don't like that. I couldn't imagine wearing them on a pitch. That's just never a great look. It looks like 2 kids just kind of threw colors of paint at something and hoped it stuck. I'm not sure why teams do this when they have green and red in their logo, but Osasuna has blue and red in most of their logos, so it doesn't even make sense why it's a bright green. Maybe there's something there I'm missing historically, but I don't love this. It is not a great look for me. I really wish they didn't do this. And their other 2 kits, I actually don't mind at all. This away kit, though, they're going to stand out, that's for sure. This is a kit that would have got banned in Serie A, and this makes me okay with the Serie A ban on green kits like this, because this is just not a great look. Next up on my downs here, I'm going Real Oviedo. Yeah, that's right. They're away kit. Now, I like a lot of what Oviedo did in their other kits, but this away kit is rough. You have bright yellow, bright blue, trimmed in black, and the actual sponsor logo is black with yellow trim, and it goes through the striping, the vertical striping they have. So you can't even see all the outline. I just don't think they did a good job with matching up the designs that they wanted to do. If this was like yellow and white or blue and black or yellow and black with the blue accents everywhere else, I would love either one of those options better. This one just looks like they're just like, whatever, we'll just do it and call it swell. Don't love it. I love some of your other kits, but not this one. Real Oviedo's away kit just is not going to work for me this year. I really don't even want to see it on the pitch, so I'm probably going to turn off the TV when that game's on. Last but not least is Valencia's third kit. Now, I was torn with this one because I don't hate it, but I don't like it at all. So it is their badge put on their kit. They do have vertical stripes, which I think is a cool nod to their badge, right? That's who they are. That's their identity. I don't love the fact they used the bright blue. And I know if you went the dark blue, you're going to look like Barcelona. I don't do that. But I also don't love the fact that the manufacturer kit is the light blue and it kind of just blends into the fuzzy stripes. And maybe that's what it is. It's the fuzzy stripes. They just don't look like they belong on the kit. I feel like there was different options you could have done for Valencia here. I would like to see anything else. It just doesn't look great to me. I don't know. Every time I look at this, it just makes my eyes hurt. And again, this is another one when I see it on the pitch, I'm probably going to turn off the TV or I'm just going to watch it on my phone. Like, this is just not a great look for me. Don't enjoy this one. So my 3 downs for La Liga: the Osasuna away, Real Oviedo away, and Valencia's third kit. Now for my goods. And I'm starting with, man, I will say this right eventually. And I'm going to start with Alavas with their third kit. This is absolutely fantastic. The multi-tone greens, every single potential match there, and it matches the scenery around the area of Alavas. And this is one I really do like. And they have a Japanese sponsor, so it's obviously sometimes you gotta work with the kanji you're given there. But they do a great job matching the color of the kanji and the color of the sponsor logo, along with the manufacturing kit being the dark green. They changed their badge color to be that dark green. I love the design. It's obviously something that means something to the area, means something to the fans. And I think that's a bigger part of why I like kits like this, where it means something to the region. So this team can be supported by the region. And it's not just this team that exists in the region. They are the region in their case. They are representing the region. And that's what I see kits like this. That's what I think of. So I absolutely love this. I love the design. I love the multi-layer sublimation with the different colors. It's really cool to me. And look, I love these green kits, especially when they're like the seafoam mixes and the mint greens are in there. I love that idea. So yeah, Alavas' third kit. Absolutely love it. Now I'm going to a team I just mentioned in the downs for my second up, and that is Real Oviedo. I love their home kit. I just said I hated their away kit because of the way it's designed. Well, guess what they did in the home kit? They kept it all blue, and then they added gold. They actually have gold on 2 of their 3 kits, and then the away kit has bright yellow. I'll never understand that. Bright yellow is not gold. Can we stop trying to make them call it gold? It's not what it is. I love their home kit. It's all navy blue. It has the checkered pattern background along the chest. Again, manufacturer logo, badge, and sponsor logo are all gold. It looks so good. They added a collar on this kit, which I do like collared kits. In some cases, I don't love every collared kit, though. These ones do look good. And, this kind of has that, maybe it's the look like Croatia type of thing. I don't know what it is about these, but I do like them. I do think they're simply good at the end of the day. Like, I don't need too much from this. And I like when you do color match. I've said that time and time again when I do these. So yeah, Oviedo's home kit. I absolutely love it. And now, last but not least, we're going to go with Villarreal and their home kit. And their away kit, not their home kit. I do like their home kit, though. I don't need to say that. The bright yellow with the navy blue, love that look. Their away kit, though, even better. It's cream, and I'm going to say it's maroon, but I'm probably wrong. It's probably some color within that maroon spectrum, that dull red, almost purple color. I think this looks really good. It has the diagonal stripes in a lighter color, a lighter version. They're very thin heaviness as far as the line goes. And again, guess what? They color match badge, they color match manufacturer logo, and they color match sponsorship. So it looks good together. Give me these 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this one as well. So my 3 ups are Alavas' third, Real Oviedo's home, and Villarreal's away kit. I absolutely love all 3 of these kits, and we'll be happy to watch these in a match. All right, guys. Hector, I appreciate it as always. You guys can check me out over on the High Low Sports Podcast at high_low_sports on Twitter, High Low Sports everywhere else. We go live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. each time, talking about all sorts of sports. We don't often get to talk about the European football, the rest of the world's football, but we do talk American football a bunch right now. Hector, I appreciate you having me on as always. Until next time, guys, we'll see you around.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
All right, Kelcey, thank you so much for coming on. As always, this is not the last you'll see Kelcey. We still have next week for the Premier League kits, and this obviously in general, this is not the last you'll see of Kelcey. Kelcey will be on at some point this year to talk some footy. But he told you his 3 ups, his 3 downs. Well, let's see how different am I versus Kelcey, or how similar I will be with Kelcey. But starting off with my 3rd worst kit. We're going to start with the downs. My 3rd worst kit is Real Sociedad's away kit. And yeah, I am I have no words to describe how very plain and just odd. I think it's an interesting color choice, but I'm just not feeling it. Once again, you have a central badge, but with sponsor on the side. Yeah, it's just not one that I'm really feeling. Not a really good one. Not really a fan of this one for Real Sociedad. So that's my third. My second is Espanyol's third. And the reason why I don't like this kit, excuse me as I'm scrolling up to find it. Okay, Espanyol's third kit, yeah. It's an interesting attempt. I think I'm fine with the color of the kit. That's just that yellow top part where I'm just not really getting it. I don't know. I think it's a bizarre choice. Not particularly a fan. What's funny to me is if this was a goalkeeper kit, I might be more down for it, but it's just not for me. So Espanyol, I don't know what you're doing. And my number one, the worst kit in my opinion, is Elche's away kit, which hopefully I can find it somewhere. No, that's Osasuna. Where's Elche? I guess Elche's a little bit further down. I don't know. Man, this app is great to maneuver from. So much for alphabetical order. Let's see where we get to Elche. Did I pass Elche? There's one. Let me see. This is super great podcasting, by the way. Let me see. Where's Elche? That's Espanyol. So Levante. That's Girona. Getafe. FC Barcelona. Elche. Okay. Elche's away kit, and yeah, I just honestly, this probably should have been a training top. It's weird. It's different. I'll give props to them on the different thing. But I'm just not a fan of this kit. I don't think this is one of those times where you do color match with the badge. Yeah, not a kit that I particularly care too much for. So yeah, that is my number one worst kit. Yeah, not a fan of it. So that was definitely the worst kit for me. So yeah, now my three kits, my top three kits. So number three is going to be Celta Vigo's away kit. I've probably said this plenty of times on the podcast, but I don't know what it is about Celta Vigo. I think it's because they have that powder blue. So I end up liking a lot of their kits. And with that darker, I guess that navy blue and the vertical stripe, it looks great. Like I love their home kit in general, just because like I said, it's that powder blue that always like really pops for me, especially with the red. But I like that vertical stripe. I like the design on the vertical stripe. Because of using that darker shade of blue, that the powder blue that's in the crest, it just pops a little more. So yeah, Celta Vigo, another solid kit. I definitely like this kit. If I wasn't a Real Madrid fan and I was just collecting shirts, I would definitely be getting one of those. My number two kit, because I can't make it number one, because God forbid I do that. And it holds, I think mainly because it holds a lot of significant value, being that I grew up a massive Kobe Bryant fan, and that is FC Barcelona's away kit. I think the color of the kit is beautiful. I love the fact that they got the Mamba brand on this one. This kit design, even like the blackout on the Black Mamba, right? This is the Kobe Bryant kit with the Black Mamba, basically blacked out badge, blacked out Spotify logo. This is just a clean kit. I love the color decisions, like even the purple stripe, like obviously paying homage to Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. Kobe Bryant obviously has a very significant relationship with Barcelona. He was a Barcelona fan, and I think that just overall, I have to point out this kid. This kid definitely pops to me, and it's a beautiful kid. And as much as I don't like Barcelona, there's kids that Barcelona does that I think are so beautiful. And I think for me, the significance to the connection to Kobe Bryant, it just goes up there for me. So that is my number 2 kit. And number 1, and I think me and Kelcey agreed on this jersey, on this kit specifically, and that is Real Oviedo and their home kit. This is class. Like, this is, like, if you returning to La Liga, you got to make a statement. And this home kit is just, it's just classy. Like, I think that this is a great kit. This is very La Liga-esque tier kit. The design with the blue, the gold popping, the badge that you made it, you made it blue and yellow. It's a really beautiful kit. Yeah, I can't wait to see it on the field. This is really well designed, and I really do hope Real Oviedo can stay afloat in La Liga. But yeah, that is my 3 up and 3 down. Like it if you like it. If you don't like it, that's totally fine. This is an opinion-based thing, so I don't expect everyone to have the same viewpoints. But with all that being said, man, we'll go ahead and segue right into wrapping up this show.
I love soccer, Peggy.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 228. Is it 228 already? Sheesh. I think it has been. Well, let me see. Yeah, it's 228. Should be 228. Yeah, it's 228. So, yeah, another fun episode. It was actually really fun to record this one. Whatever, it was a good conversation. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. Really hope so. Thanks for all the support and everything else. Want to give a shout out to BellyUpSports. Obviously, check out the website, BellyUpSports.com. Lots of great lots of great articles constantly written on that website. College football's kicking up. NFL kicks off this weekend. So, they got a lot to talk about, a lot of fantasy football stuff. So if you're into all that, me and Edward are very much, obviously we're big Texans fans. Spencer, I know he's an Alabama fan. I don't know if he actually has an NFL team per se, but we love, we grew up here in the United States. Of course, we're going to love American football. So go ahead and check out BellyUpSports.com if you want to get all the insights on American football. Check out their also social media, X and Instagram at BellyUpSports for all things that are happening there at BellyUp. Go ahead and check them out. Also, check out GolzTV. That is another way that you can find our episodes. Also, some of our short videos that you can find on our YouTube channel is available on GolzTV, GolzTV. Lots of content over there, especially if you're looking for the Americans' perspective on the beautiful game. That is a great place to go check out. I know they have some international stuff as well, so go ahead and check it out as well. Check it out, GOZ.TV, Golz.TV. Follow them on X at Golz_TV and on Instagram at Golz.TV. Pretty straightforward. Go ahead and check out all the great content that's being over there. Jose Tejas is someone that does come on the show from time to time, so go ahead and check out, giving them some love, definitely. So, with all that being said, man, thank you so much for listening to episode 228. Catch us next week for 229, where we'll talk about some more footy. So take care, guys.